You're casual and ranked games got you down and looking for something a little more competitive? Well, we got just the thing for you. Check out our community esports, which hosts a plethora of events where you can play not just with your friends, but even sometimes against them. We've got just about every type of community esport that you can imagine. Long-form leagues mimicking the pro and amateur circuits, draft-style leagues if you want to spice things up and play with a whole bunch of different people, or if you're just in the mood for the occasional tournament, we've got plenty of those happening weekly, monthly, and sometimes even more often than those. If leagues are your thing, we got plenty to satiate that competitive appetite. Albion Giants, Quack and Smite, and Glarious Smite leagues are just a few of our mini orgs open to join. Give them a check and see what fits you best. If you've never seen a draft-style league, then you're in for a treat. The Smite Draft League and Olympus Smite League are just two of the largest draft leagues in the scene, and you should definitely give them a try, or at the very least, give them a watch to see what all the hype is about. If you can't commit to full leagues and just want to have some competitive fun, there's a plethora of weekly tournaments from orgs like Iced Esports, Vulpus Esports, and so many more. So, what are you waiting for? Head on over to SmiteAmateurLeague.com and check out everything that we have in store for you. There's a whole bunch of different checkboxes, whether you're playing on mouse and keyboard or controller, what region you are, what MMR division you are in your rank to help you find the best suited league or tournament for you. So go out there today. We hope to see you on the battleground.
Yeah, that's right. We have so many different community tournaments that are currently running. In fact, Gormize and I head over a lot of the information that does go through that one between people applying, prizing out, and whatnot. We have dozens of orgs out there that are running tournaments, not just weekly. We have monthly tournaments. We have leagues that are running all throughout the course of the year. Just naming a few of the ones to go back there, Albion Giants is one of our longest running league style of format. So if you want to check out leagues, make sure you're keeping up to date with them. Remember, go to SmiteAmateurLeague.com to see all the information there. There's so much great stuff out there. And if you want to watch some of them live, you can watch them not only on their own channels with all the information available to them, but on this channel here, twitch.tv/SmiteGame, Mondays and Tuesdays at 7 p.m. Eastern. You can check out a couple of the leagues that are currently running right now. I believe we have Albion Giant, the Smite Quacken League, Line Sports is running, as well as the Smite Draft League. So we got a little bit of everything available for you if you check it out on the channel. Remember, Mondays and Tuesdays, 7 p.m. Eastern, all the way until 10 p.m. is when those blocks are running. Or, as always, you can go over to SmiteAmateurLeague.com and check out everything that is available and see if you can find a tournament or a league just suited for you. I'm J-Mac. I got Gore. We played musical chairs once more here at the desk. This time I'm over here. He's over there.
What sucks is, like, it's the worst game of musical chairs if you think about it, because, like,
no
one's taking the chairs away. The music is playing.
You say that now, but now you've opened the door for us to just take a chair, and one of us is going to have to stand, and I don't want to be the one standing. But I don't think that
I could stand next time. I'll let you have the chair.
Let's say, but I don't think that I could actually take you in like a 1v1 to actually be able to claim that chair. And I'm going to say that as honestly as I can. I don't think I'm winning that one. And the one thing that has been, but one person that's been doing a whole lot of winning, or I say one role that's been doing a lot of winning, have been the mid laners. They've been doing so good in our tournament so far that they have both won their first round matchups. Bruise Brothers 2-0 over the Pentakids, knocking out one of the Hunter roles. One of the Hunter teams, I should say. And then Duo Q gets a 2-1 win to knock out our first batch of junglers in Nacho Gang. So you will not see those two teams competing, at least in this bracket. But if you tune back in Saturday, we'll still be able to see those teams duke it out to see which of the specific teams of roles are the better ones there, as we can jump in at least into our second round of the day, or our second half of the day, I should say, with our second group of teams. If I'm not mistaken, we have Unstable Vortex and the NBKs, who will be our next matchup. So the supports finally joining the fray, getting to see if they can at least try and take down the other round of Hunters. And I think you put it best, Gore. After these two sets, there will be at least one role who will not be making it to the next day of play. So one role will be seen out the door. Is that going to be the supports? Is that going to be the Hunters? Will it be the junglers? We'll have to find out as these two sets go through. We can take a look at the two rosters for our teams. For Unstable Vortex, it's Gamma, Quig, Hurrywind, the captain for the team. Aurora and Preds joining us from the EUSCC. And then up against them for NBKs, it's Streak Up and Davey joining from the EU side, from the SCC round of things. Vote as the captain, and Barracuda and Cyclone Spin joining alongside him. And I think this is where things maybe get a little bit spicier for us, Gore, because every team up until now has had at least one member of an SCC squad on their team. For sure. The NBKs have two on their team, Streak Up and Davey, both making their way over here for this event to now team up. So I wonder, how much extra pressure do you think that adds to Unstable Vortex, especially given the history of EU SCC teams. They come out to these big lands, they always step up and outperform, usually outperforming the NA teams. But now getting to also square up with the SPL teams and work alongside some of the talent of Cyclone with Vote and Barracuda. I wonder how Streak Up and Davey can now stack up to the competition.
Yeah, it does create that conversation, right? Gamma and Preds on the other side. I think, I don't want to say a full similar boat, but like kind of similar considering like the path, I guess, for at least Gamma here. The thing that is really catching my eye, and maybe we'll get into it more in a little bit, is a couple members on the NBKs. But looking at Unstable Vortex, the thing I don't know about this team is I don't know who plays what. Hurry has played mid and support competitively. Yeah. That being said, when I asked him about mid after the draft show last time, he said that he was terrible at that role, and if he played it, he would feed. So who knows what we're getting in that regard. Aurora has just, he's support. He's one of the supports. It's like the PBM. Just one of the supports in SMITE. So it's hard to imagine maybe him shimmying anywhere else, but it really depends. I do think that, and you had kind of mentioned some of the SEC guys, that's where you maybe find a little bit of strength. I think that them being a little more flexible, given the way Europe and North America change a lot. Drafts, rosters sometimes go up and down in the blink of an eye. And so there's some flexibility there. And that's where I think Preds, Quig, and Gamma all get to present some of their strengths. Because while they are all support players, they all have played in the SEC. I want to say I've seen a few of them play off-roll, although if I have, I'm going to be honest, it's been a long time. Preds may be the most recent of all of those. So there's definitely some flexibility, but I do think the problem Unstable Vortex is going to come into and run into is really going to be around the actual off-roll nature of a lot of these. That being said, I bet their comms are going to be crazy good. Nobody but accurate. It's going to be timers out the wazoo. They should be set on those. Shot calling? Probably set on that too. The play around the shot calling is where they maybe falter a little bit, but they've got all the rest of it.
I think I saw a chat message from Twitch that one of them said, I can't wait to see the supports play and listen to their shot calls because it's just going to be the most amount of useless information possible. And I wouldn't say that like timers are useless information or ultimates, but it's just going to be so much micro calling from the support squad. Always has you wondering a little bit with them, but gotta actually mention, let me remedy what I mentioned earlier, because the NBKs, as I said, 2 of the SCC teams, but both 2 EU SCC teams. Unstable Vortex, also 2 SCC players on their team, 1 NA, 1 EU. So now the pressure is the double EU better than the double NA, or is it just that maybe supports or hunters are better? But as mentioned with the NBKs and their full roster, Streak Up, Cyclone, Splin, Vote, Barracuda, and Davey for this team. And so far, the question I kind of came into the initial event was, how many of the captains are going to play their role? Like, how many captains are actually going to want to play what they were drafted? We saw Panatom, he played out for his role. So we have at least had that one. We have Venenu was playing in the mid lane as well. So we had, at least the last game, both the captains were playing out. I wonder who the designated hunter and support is going to be for this team, because when I look at the NBKs, you can have just about any of these guys run the hunter role, no problem. But who are you going to make go everywhere else? What are you going to have Barracuda play? Cyclone's been going to solo, makes the most sense because that's where he's played competitively before. Everywhere else, it is up in the air for you. Maybe Vote to the jungle. I remember his jungle games before.
Well, I was going to say, it's a little unfortunate for them that Zap got dropped before we got to do this, because Zap's been wanting to play jungle all the time. Like, that would have been such an easy slot hit for the carries. You know what? It does lead into, I think, the conversation you're having, and the one that I'm looking at, which is Cyclone Spin and Barra specifically. Vote in the past has definitely flexed around a little bit, but like Barra only ever streams Assault. So you gotta imagine that this dude knows the gods at this point, you would hope, 10 years in, down the line. And so theoretically you could probably swap him. That being said, if I was looking at the seating chart properly, and they don't have to align up with the seating chart, but he was in the carry spot, which might just be comfort, might be something more than that. Barra definitely seems like someone who you could probably flex around for a little bit. Cyclone should. It feels really weird if you put him in the carry role, considering what he has been able to do competitively, where he has been. But the thing is you're asking like who's jungle, who's mid. I don't know who you put support on this team, because I don't know who's gonna think. I don't want to say think highly of it, or maybe if I'm just gonna be blunt, be good at it. I don't know who would be on that list. Maybe Cyclone falls on that one just because of his past tenure as a frontliner. Way back. I mean, you're talking seasons 2 that you're going to be seeing that. Again, that kind of leans into, I think, the strength streak up. Davey having some SCC guys, usually that lets you flex them a little bit more. Those guys are used to, not just because of ranked, but because of the way the scene is in both North America and Europe. Sometimes just taking a spot on a team where you can find it, and if that means going into the jungle and trying to look good, you'll do it. If it means solo, you'll do it. If it means mid, you'll do it. And a lot of the times they've been able to translate pretty well. So I'm excited to see what they have to offer. But both of these teams definitely have a lot of questions to be answered. And I'm really curious what kind of answers we're going to be getting, because I don't know that they're going to be good all of the time.
I think the biggest thing that came out whenever we were, talking specifically, I guess, kind of with Hurry when he was doing his draft, was his concern of who's going to play like anywhere but support. Because as you said, and as he mentioned, throw him into mid now, he's probably washed up. He's probably not going to be doing too well over
but
mid.
give him Giannis.
Give him Giannis.
Probably still works.
Maybe that's the trick. But you can't just do that.
He can only play it once.
Yeah, you can only do it once. So you don't want to give up your trick immediately.
Foiled again.
Maybe if you're winning game 1, you switch him over for game 2, and then you get to play the Giannis. Not 100%. It's all about the flexibility between these two roles. The supports and the hunters, once allies together in a lane, now enemies across the battleground. Picks and bans for game number 1.
There's a lot of writing on
Unstable
this one,
Vortex and NBKs.
I got to get this clear up front, because there's a lot of duo lanes. And you know what? I'll put me and Katie on that list, where sometimes you're playing aggressive, maybe you're playing unaggressive, maybe they got a better draft than you, whatever. But there will be some turmoil if one of you dies and the other one isn't helping. The supports die, everyone expects that. Carries die, they're going to blame everybody else because they can't accept self-blame and look inward and self-reflect on themselves. I think there's a lot riding on this, because whoever wins this one will probably give someone bragging rights in their duo lane. And I will absolutely use it if the supports win. And if they don't, then I'll call it a Mickey win, and my role's still better.
Oh, Hurry's actually playing mid. Hurry's playing mid.
He's got it. Okay, but realistically, it's because look at the rest of the team. Who else are you putting in mid here? I don't know if I trust any of them.
So this is a Cyclone Barra dual lane. At least assuming they play the roles that have been...
Marty got through? What are you doing?
Look, you have hunters. The hunters don't want to play this one because they get to play him all... Well, I guess they don't get to play him all the time. They don't want to have to play him because he's such a good pick. But now Marty gets picked up by the supports. Now we get to see if this is just hunter propaganda.
It's pure hubris. They think they're better. And so they let it through.
Game.
And now it is up to Unstable Vortex to really, really prove them wrong. Because things could definitely, let's say, fall apart. Marty's a good first pick, though.
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe he made it through. Wukong, we had already talked about.
It's 3 sets now, first game.
In every single set, he's going to make it through at least once. And because of the way it works, he's only going to see one game, but he is guaranteed one game unless a team just outright bans him. So that's not too surprising.
Also, looking at the rosters, I just realized we have 3 sets of the same duo lane against each other here. You have Barra and Hurry, you have Cyclone and Aurora, and you have Preds and Davey. Players that normally play together.
All right, so this does go beyond just me. It's not me anymore.
Yeah,
they can use this in-game.
Yeah, this is between each other now. The only outliers, obviously, there being then Streak Up and Vote, and then Gamma and Quig don't have any real say, at least in this matchup. Maybe if they have to play the Hunters again later, the other batch of Hunters might have a different conversation. But yeah, we have 3 dual lanes now squaring off against each other. Quick wrap-up, at least of what we missed so far in the picks. Obviously, the Marty first pick, that's the big one that kind of sticks out more than anything. But Sun Wukong, Yu, and Tiamat for the NBKs, and then Terra and Jormungandr round out the top 3 of the Unstable Vortex. So a very tanky squad so far, the Unstable Vortex have. A lot of lockdown, a lot of CC, and just a lot of damage with Marty, and potential damage as to what Jormungandr could be capable of. Meanwhile, it's also a very tanky, kind of a beefy squad the NBKs have. Sun Wukong, Yu, both of those build a lot of defense, have a decent bit of damage in their kits as well. Tiamat can do a lot of damage and be somewhat tanky in her quadrupedal stance. I'm ready for team fights already. I don't even care about what the bottom 2 are. I'm ready to see team fight stage for both these squads.
I'm trying to figure out if it's Wukong jungle or if Wukong solo. I mean, Wukong solo, we had mentioned it earlier. maybe the best thing you can do to your solo laner alongside like a Jormungandr, because you're just not going to die. it is one where you just very neutrally hold lane, and it feels right. Wukong can go jungle. We've seen it thrown in the jungle by some of the SCC players as well. But I'm looking at the Ronngyu, and I'm wondering if Cyclone's got a little spice for us. And it's mainly because I don't normally get to talk about a Ronngyu support unless like Trixtank was around, and even then I had to like go through a big loop to force it to happen, because we're talking launch tournament, like we are talking the year 2014 that it was mattered, and so it was very much a stretch. But like looking at this, unless you're doing Guan solo Wukong jungle, it just doesn't line up as much. I like Wukong for people who are not as experienced in solo as the solo laner. You can do whatever carry you want. And I think that he's got an okay matchup versus Yorm in the sense that neither's really going to get anything done. Guan might get something done over there. It doesn't feel like that changes the matchup too much. I just think that if you're looking at junglers incoming, Wukong stays alive a lot better if he's in solo. And sometimes his jungle matchup, like just in general, he feels a little back and forth. Just kind of depends on the Wukong player.
So as we roll through the second wave of bans, it's all hunters, 4 of them banned out. Chernobog, Jingwei, Hachiman, and Ram round out the last wave of bans and open up for Xbalanque. And as you can see, Barracuda cycled through like 6 different hunters.
Yeah, just to end on the same guy that he had been playing like 10
years
games
ago.
No, like even recently, he just keeps going to Xbalanque. I don't know what it is.
I guess he just enjoys Xbalanque. Are you, when you're facing off against a Xbalanque, are you a Xbalanque ult down, or are you an I can't see kind of person?
Oh, I'm an I can't see. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, I am 100%. I get hit by the Xbalanque ult. I'm saying, guys, I can't see anything. I can't see.
Anything. If my vision's taken away, no matter what, in a game, in real life, wherever it is, I'm saying it out loud to everybody.
And then I'm also the one, I wait like 10 seconds after it's done and goes, hey guys, Xbalanque ult's also down. Just to add the extra. I guess I'm both, but I'm primarily the I can't see.
I do like being belligerent, like I can't see. By the way, X-Ball went down. Like the combo, I think, is actually that's peak.
That's how you do it. Neith and Camazotz round out the draft for Unstable Vortex. So double hunter for the support team, plus a Camazotz. Give you a little bit more of that physical power. Give you a good jungle option. It's surprising we haven't seen too much out of the ordinary as far as junglers. I mean, we saw some Susano. Saw some Pele, Hun Batz even. Camazotz making his way. A very sustain-heavy comp that Unstable Vortex have for themselves here, representing the support role. NBKs. One final pick, and I'm not going to pretend to take a guess as to what I know it would be, because with some Wukong Ronngyu, something's going into solo, something's going support and jungle. I don't know where these 3 are going, and I want to take a fun guess here.
Okay. I've got my guesses, and I'm pretty sure I'm right, so you go first.
Okay, trip down memory lane. Wow. You know what? You probably are right, Gore. You probably are right, but I just want to have a little bit of fun.
Yeah.
Sun Wukong support, Ronngyu solo. Thor jungle.
Okay, well, Thor jungle is right. Vote is going to play that, but it's the other way around for the other 2.
Oh,
Cyclone's definitely going to be playing Guan.
I just want to see the Sun Wukong support again, man. I miss those days.
I kind of do too. But
I miss playing those days. I don't miss going against the Sun Wukong back when Masters Will had the knock-up on.
I was going to say, it's because Wukong was busted. That's it. It wasn't for nothing other than that. He was just real good. No, he's just too safe, right? I mean, Guan Yu, like, the healing's nice, the dash is good, you've got your ult for a disengage, so it's not the end of the world if you are solo. Wukong has the same thing, but, like, as far as supports go, I want the guy that has Prot Shred and slows to be there with my carry to then make them do more. Like, you're chasing down a Terra, you're going to be boxing presumably Neith in this matchup. I don't know, Marty's definitely a 50-50 Cyclone. If he had been the one to pick it up and on that team, I wouldn't have been surprised if he just bullied Barra out of his role and took it, because he just played Marty throughout all of Masters. But knowing that it's going to Unstable Vortex, Hurry could pick it up. He's very ability-based, so is Neith, so there's a good balance. The only edge, I'd say, is Marty does absolutely insane damage, so I prefer him into whoever you want to carry the hardest and whoever you trust to carry the hardest, whether that's Hurry or Gamma, that's up to the team. Neith, the only real benefit she has to mid versus maybe throwing her over in the carry role like we just saw in the last game is just travel time on the ult. If you want more ults more consistently all the time, throw her in mid, you're going to have to be a little more wary because she's way more susceptible to ganks because guess what? Backflips, super duper predictable. Marty, his get out of jail free card is admittedly tied to his ult, so that causes some trouble, but it also usually kills the other guy and gives you a lot of time. If not kills, then forces a lot of relics, so it just feels like Hurry might be able to get a little bit more done with that. And so if you're looking at who are you trying to chase down, who are you looking to I think, get a better matchup to, Guan into like Neith Terra feels really good. Guan into Marty Terra means that great news is there's a Neith in mid, so when you leave lane, you've got a Neith the bully still. So no matter what, I feel like Cyclone Spin's going to be able to put a little bit of weight onto that. And also, again, you know, he has the most gods in SPL, like competitively played as far as God Pool goes. So just give him whatever the hell he asks for.
I've got a feeling this could be one of our bloodiest sets with these supports. A lot of run it down style of mentality. True. Or it could be one of our tamest ones if the Hunters don't want to actually fight back until they potentially get to late game. We'll have to see who comes out on top for game number 1. Will it be the supports with the Unstable Vortex? Will it be the carries with the NBKs? Let's jump to our casters, Hinduman and Trelly, for game 1.
Thanks so much, J-Mac and Gore. Yes, it's carries versus supports. And in the picks and bans section, Trelly, they banned only supports and carries, shockingly enough, and left a couple of things open, such as this Marty. I'm kind of surprised by that.
Yeah, the Marty has been... It's so odd to me because for a while, Marty was talk of the town. He was, you cannot let this god through. And then he sort of fell out of favor for a bit. People were letting him through. He wasn't getting top pick, top banned. He got nerfed, and now he's back on top. It really confuses me. I think that he does still do incredible amounts of damage, and his safety is pristine. Like, there is definitely reason that Marty is this highly contested, but... Sure. I don't think we let Marty through, GG go next. Like, I don't think he's that dominant.
I'll be honest, I kind of snuck into the NBK's booth here, and they were definitely going, Barry was definitely saying, yeah, ban Marty. Do we want to ban Marty? I mean, do we need to ban Marty? Well, we'll find out. You know, they left it up, and now the supports have got it here. Unstable Vortex, as they're called. They should have been called Tower Boys, let's be honest. It was Horrywin's team. They're not Salty Tower Boys. Maybe they got named Salty Tower Boys when they lose, but it should have been Tower Boys.
I think it would have been better. I don't even know where the Unstable Boy... I guess because Horrywin played Janus. Okay, I get it now. All right.
Yeah.
It took me 2 seconds to really think about it, but I don't like that I thought about it. No. I'll leave it at that.
No, but NBK's kind of a throwback for Vote's old name too. The most interesting thing for me is going to be when we get to the comms situation of listening in.
Oh, yeah.
Can the Hunters actually, like, comm? Because none of them have comms from what I know of them. And then on top of that, even if they do comm, can you understand them? Because so many people struggle with Vote.
That is a good question. I will say Cyclone above all else. I have the utmost faith in his shot calls, just because, you know, through, you know, past teams and, of course, just any time I've ever seen him play, it seems like he's very vocal. So as long as you're playing around the Guan Yu support, it does seem like NBKs are going to have at least that one voice that they can concentrate on. Besides that, up to interpretation. I cannot wait until a fight breaks out later on and we get to figure out what's going on in those comms.
Well, both teams do have a bit of a cheeky advantage to an extent. Horrywin has played mid at the pro level before, so him going back there for the supports makes sense. And Cyclone Spin has played technically every role in the SPL once upon a time, is the wording that was used there. Not recently for some of the roles, but he has played them most before, and I'm surprised to see him put in the support role here. But I guess that's a decision the team's made.
Yeah, that's what I always wonder, right? Whenever I've been interviewing these players, I always ask, was this your preferred role, or did the team just kind of throw you there? And I'm sure Cyclone, he had his own option. You know, he is one of the best players that has ever touched this game. He's been playing for a very, very long time, and because of that, he's like, hey, I'll be put on support if that's the call. I can still make my impact.
Do you reckon that's the case, right? Barra and Cyclone went, listen, I'm only doing this as support, and Barra's like, I'm only playing carry, I can't play anything else. Like, we expecting this isn't Assault.
That's what I don't get, is that Bear, whenever he does stream, he refuses to play ADC if he gets carry. He will trade Hunters no matter what. But when it comes to role, he's like, all right, give me X-Ball, though. Let me go something new and play the Xbalanque ADC.
Well, Quig and Aurora and Chulainn just trying to weather the storm of the early game aggression that'll come out until Aurora gets a bit of clear online. But we don't see too much Guan Yu support. However, this protection shred is pretty impactful in the early stages and can kind of, people can underestimate just how much damage you can take after being shredded by the talent.
Yeah, I think that the Guan Yu support is something that Cyclone's been running and ranked leading up to this tournament. I ran into it once myself on his team, and he gave me incredible pressure. I was a little bit surprised at how much you can get just by you tally the wave, immediately dash through. It's almost back up at that point, and you're just also sustaining the whole time. That's the reason that you see Aurora and Quig sitting back. They don't have the pressure. They don't have the lane dominance. They're just going to kind of forfeit the buffs. If shield cam comes through, what are they going to do? Walk forward? The wave's not cleared yet.
Very much feels like a counter-initiation comp from the supports, but a blue buff invade coming out from Vote here alongside Davey. They're not going to be able to invade just yet. They do look for a cheeky steal and get it with a Jingu Bang and Tower Shot to strip it away. Meanwhile, the other side, Cyclone Spin is trying the same thing, but Quig won't be beat this time. Backflip available to make sure he gets his own buff. So small advantage for NBK so far.
That's unfortunate, because usually if you just pull it under tower far enough, if you already accepted, hey, I'm going to let the tower finish this, I'm not going to get the extra gold, I just want the XP, you can pull it out of range. But did seem like they were trying to go for the confirmation there on Stable Vortex, and Davey said, hey, I'm going to make sure I get to steal this one. That's a big look for NBK so far. I mean, not the biggest steal in the world, but you lose one blue buff, usually it starts this pendulum effect where next timer comes through, they're on that respawn again. They want to make sure to take that buff consistently. One turns into two, and then you're behind. And then the real question is, do you send a support or a mid over there? But if you do that, you lose shield buff on the left-hand side, or maybe a green buff or a purple. And the carries always whinge. So with 5 members of carries, we'll see how that plays out, if that causes problems as this goes on. Now the composition Unstable Vortex have drafted here too. Very counter-initiation for me based off what you see the NBKs have got. Vote's going to be pretty much an initiator this game, I want to say. And the Guan too, potentially. Meanwhile, you'll probably see Preds look for the backline on this Camazotz when those fights have already started. And using, you know, this Jormungandr, this Terra for more defensive counter-initiation. Yeah, it just seems like Unstable Vortex have 3 ultimates that just get them out of the playfield, go up to the sky, they can reposition themselves, they can get good damage, and it's unavoidable as long as you're able to land it, right? There's not much that NBKs can do except wait for them to come back down and then try and plan their team fight around it, which means, you know, Vote's going to have a hard time finding targets. He needs to make sure he lands the wall first, or ult out of vision. Board coverage, ult went very far away, that sort of thing. Makes it a lot easier to get value from Anvil of Dawn. Makes it a lot easier to pull those relics so you can actually have impactful ultimates. Aggression in the jungle here. His Vote has to wall off away from Aurora where he can, but he's just creating some space to get those oracles online, some vision control around the Gold Fury from Unstable Vortex. Kind of important as well against the Thor, just to make sure you've got that vision there so he can't just get a free ultimate into the duo lane. Look at his streak up in mid lane on this tier map. Bit of a sleeper pick in the draft, I'd say. He was a call-up based off, in fact, Panda Cat being unavailable for the tournament to play for the carries. So he went to the SEC and brought Streak up. He's been playing a lot of mid lane through the years, and Vote drafted him pretty early, recognizing that, I think, of like his potential to play more than just one role. Yeah, I believe Vote said something along the lines of that he's going to be the sleeper pick, not just in the drafts, but the other teams are not going to expect much from Streak Up, but he's going to be the silent carry on the team, which hopefully he's able to fulfill that. Going a build like Tablet, silent is definitely the word I would use. It's going to take a while before he is able to show up to these team fights, but considering most of the builds we're seeing so far, not a lot of action early on, right? No. You want to fight? Well, they're all duo laners, right? That's fair, yeah. You know, they just want to farm. That's all they know. Yeah, exactly. They just got to farm until late game and then hope for a good team fight where your jungler goes in, I guess. But the problem is they're also junglers too. Talking about the tablet a bit more, though, back into fruition again. We've seen a lot more of this being picked up. The item changes seems to have mixed up the mid lane a little bit more potency from them. How do you feel about it? I enjoy Tablet. I think it's a good counter, or at least a good help to try and deal with these tankier targets. What I don't like is how it slows down the early game so much. These mid laners just want to sit in lane and get their stacks online. If, for example, Unstable Vortex are able to force a fight here, Streak Up wouldn't be as powerful as if he just went a different item. But if Unstable Vortex aren't going to force anything, then there's no problem, right? Streak Up's playing for late game. Yeah. I just got to talk to Pagon just last set. He said, hey, in this meta, real game doesn't start till 35 minutes. Everything before that doesn't matter, so why wouldn't you itemize this way? Why wouldn't you try and be as strong as possible at level 20? Yeah, a lot of players have been saying that, though they're feeling like the game is a little bit later on. And talking to both these teams as they watched the previous set, they were pretty much enjoying it, looking forward to this one as well. Excited to see how this plays out, but still in a bit of an EU one so far, just farming off. And we'll see how this goes. You do notice it's Cyclone versus Aurora in this lane. Former teammates in the duo lane once upon a time too, but both playing supports here, kind of standing around. Preds and Vote, though, over here, looking around the shield buff in the corner. Vote sees that Preds is doing it here. Horrywind's on a rotation too, and a World Weaver onto Vote, forces his beats, hammers away into Horrywind, but good wall to prevent any additional damage. Horrywind actually had to beats there too. Got to be scared of Thor coming back down if he wants to. He won't, he'll disengage, but already Preds forced to ult defensively. Horrywind forced to ult defensively, and Cyclone's having none of that. He's looking for a pick, and it's onto Aurora, but Aurora had his dash available. And everybody's going to live on the duo side of the map. So much disengage. I mean, Vote gets caught out there, gets ulted. He has to hammer away immediately into the waiting arms of Hurrywin, but a nice wall into the immediate ult, make sure that he gets out of trouble. Preds is the same way. He thought he was safe, he thought he could go forward, but he has to go into the bat out of hell because he's afraid of the engage. It's good that they have all this safety, it means no blood gets spilled just yet.
It's funny, the NBK getting the aggressive right, and all of a sudden the supports support each other to make sure they get out. What a shock. Big craziness. So no kills just yet in this one. Who do you think we should listen to first?
Well, we did want to listen to the NBKs, but I think it'd be more fun to listen to them in a team fight, which we clearly are not at. So let's see what the Unstable's got going on, just about how they want to farm and maybe how they want to play the early game.
Yeah, if production's ready, can we have a listen into Unstable Vortex? Let's see Horrywin complaining about having to rotate.
Yeah, that's fine.
Mid's cleared, more or less. You can get melees.
Level 10.
I'm pretty AFK for like 90 seconds here, just farming.
Okay, prop buff's coming up soon. What are we doing about that?
I can stay, I guess.
I can't be there.
Yeah, I won't be there ever.
You want to try to steal it?
It is kind of. Yeah, sure. We can try to get. I can try to steal it.
Yeah.
I'm better secure than them.
I'll be there in like 10 seconds.
You hit it?
But...
Yeah, sure.
Wukong's playing scared,
Push it.
as if he thinks he's being
Oh,
ganked.
that's so
Thor's
unlucky,
probably
dude.
left then.
Dang.
No problem. We're even now.
I'm resetting.
I'm just farming hard here.
So I'll try to get my build online.
I'm gonna go south
here.
next.
I'm gonna start second Soul Eater. By Sentry. We have Beacon in 3 minutes. Do we have anything major to really fight for here?
No, not really.
I think we should fight Beacon with Yorm and we just win it.
I'm really strong at Beacon as
Yeah.
well as this going.
We just keep farming and we can maybe look for like a random pyro if it spawns. If it looks
Is it ever worth for Jorm to rotate to the beacon and I just farm right?
Yeah, we could do that too.
Yeah, I have I
Guang's here.
have persistent TP
Yeah,
already.
you should
Careful,
definitely
quick.
come then.
Kuang
It's 2
can come
minutes.
down.
I mean, yeah, if I can get my trans stack, that would be massive.
I got poked here. I'm backing.
Wukong is missing. I think he just went to go to his jungler's backs.
Thor to mid camps with Kuang.
Good little lesson in there with the Unstable Vortex. It seems they're going to fight around this next beacon, send over Gamma as well, and Preds is going to farm up some right-hand side. It seems to be playing. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I like the hesitance there. I think if you're with a team for a while and you know your team, you're gonna be saying, hey, we're fighting this purple buff. But it was more of purple spawning. Can we do something about that?
Yeah,
or
it was prop buff. It's like, hey, prop buff's coming up. What do you want to do? Right, we can try and contest. Bit of aggression in mid from a Raw. Going to find the walls on though, just to try and relieve some pressure on Horrywin here. Horry feels pretty good about this Marty around the beacon fight too. So excited to see this one goes off. Maybe the beacon fight we should listen to NBKs, right? And see how they handle this aggression that the Vortex are going to put out.
They have no idea the storm that's a brewing. Gamma will be rotating, and I've been told that they're really strong if Gamma rotates. I see why Horrywin feels confident. He got his Transcendence, his Soul Eater online in a minute. Probably not going to be fully stacked, but at the very least, that evolved Transcendence. You got 2 relics. You're the only level 12 carry-wise on the map at the moment until Street Cup's able to go back. So probably feeling pretty good. And in a minute or so, we're going to see that fight break out. But until then, the question is, do NBK have to make that rotation? It's just the first beacon. Some teams value it very highly. Some teams say it's more worth it for me to try and push down a tier 1 tower and just
personal
get farm
versus like the objective itself, that's for sure. I will say happy for Horrywin that he admitted he bought a Sentry Ward. Still hasn't placed it, however, and went back to base again to continue working on his Aegis to get that available for level 12. And you saw the final bases kind of coming through now. 30 seconds on the beacon in the mid lane. Yeah, you get the little warning there. Always take into account in your own personal games. You hear that little jingle? It's a little warning. It's 30 seconds away. People don't realize there's so many good audio cues in Smite.
And I think that a lot of people don't realize how important the beacons can be. I mean, more often than not, these Soul Eaters are not making those impactful rotations towards the beacon. One extra body can usually be the difference between capping it and not. And look at this. Davy's just sitting around smacking Bastions. It doesn't seem to me like he wants to make that rotation.
Has no TP either. You can see Gamma in base right now, and it's about to spawn. Let's have a little listen in then to the NBK's communications.
Left side. We should watch if they go gold. Okay.
They should not be able to. They do gold so slow with the Marty.
Sure.
They're on that right now. Oh, I heard Marty Bush right there.
Okay.
Marty's in the bush.
Terra can be right jungle.
Yeah, Prot's up right now.
Sure. I can go look at their.
I'm just watching. I'm staring at Pro right now.
I'm gonna go pull green.
Go.
I'm gonna burn this real fast. Terra's under.
Hunting,
Yeah, we're gonna do a green.
Okay. I'm trying to bait his rotation a little bit. Nissan lane right here.
We don't see. Orkama's still there. We don't see.
Oh, Yorm's here.
Yorm's still there.
Yorm has 4 stacks.
Marta is trying to walk up. Top.
Just don't get poked by you on stream. That's it. Because he has cloak.
Oh, true.
Terra went back mid.
Kama's giving me fizz cloak stacks over
here. Neithel, Kyrmi.
Yeah. Okay. Kama's giving me so many cloak stacks right now.
He uncharged it.
Terra's coming mid.
You want this tower right now? We could technically hit this tower.
Yeah. I'm gonna poke it.
They go on you?
Oh, no.
Nope.
Yom going left.
That is fucking
you guys can maybe pull gold right now, honestly.
Good DPS for gold.
Yeah, you guys can. There's 2 people left. Yemoja.
They have orbs. Okay, they have orbs.
Okay, that's fine.
We probably have to play for Pyro, but.
I'm super strong.
We definitely need anti-ult. They have 3 soul leaders.
I can get on second early.
Final end of the call there. Need some anti-heal. The comms are better than I expected. I mean, Davey's given an excuse of like, hey, this is great for me, guys. I'm getting my prof stacks over here. Didn't need to rotate. We just gave up Beacon for free. But they were kind of looking at a goal fury. They're feeling pretty good about like the Vortex team doesn't have great clear of these objectives.
Yeah, they don't seem to fear the double hunter, despite the fact that they do have these double ADCs.
Yeah, well,
the
ability hunters,
exactly.
Yeah.
The ability damage is not going to burn through gold that quickly. So Cyclone said nothing to fear. I also love Bear's like, hey, shield buff spawning, we could go in. Cyclone says, sure. It was just one of those. Sure. If I have to rotate over and help you, I really do just want to rotate elsewhere, see where I can help. But if I have to babysit the duo lane, I'll do it.
Pyromancer started by the NBKs here. No wall coverage. Looks like Hurrywin might have sniffed the danger, though. He's stepping up to try and contest this Pyro, but he's all on his own. Will the ultimate come through and steal it? No is the answer. NBKs get the first Pyromancer of the game, and the bomb goes over to Cyclone Spin.
Still 0 kills, though. You asked me in the first game we casted if this is the pace I expected.
This one's more crunch for both teams, though, because like it's supports versus carries, dude. Everyone knows it's the supports that carry the carries, and it's the only reason the carries can get to late game and exist in the first place, right? It's a lot on the line between these two.
And because of that, bragging rights and also just the ego shatter that would happen. Exactly. If the ADCs took a bad fight.
Like the Desp was saying, Aurora versus his former teammate, you've also got so many different combinations of those two, with Barracuda going up against his support in Hurrywin in the mid lane. Just so many different situations where you're like, you don't want to lose to your teammate.
Yeah, and I think that's why the hesitance in these comms, right? It's not, hey, we can fight, should we go in? It's, maybe we can do this, should we step forward? Let's just back up. We don't have to give up anything yet because, I mean, take a look. Everything is just net even throughout the entirety of this match. XP, gold, it's all just balancing on an edge, except for I think Quig is like a level behind. Besides that, doesn't seem to be that big of a deal so far. I think the real change-up is going to be some of these stacking items, like the Prophetic Cloak, for example. That takes a while to stack up, and Davey is leagues ahead, whereas Gamma has 2 stacks on because he built it so late.
Yeah, that's just always the awkwardness of building it as late in the build as you do at times. And we saw Yorko doing it earlier on the Jormungandr too. But over on the right-hand side, Freds has been left 1v1 against his teammate and Davey here. How is this one going to play out between the two? Davey trying to run away, has to use his ultimate to avoid the World Weaver that's coming through from the dual lane on Quig. And now Gamma's rotation may be looking to punish this even further, or at least look for this blue buff invade.
Yeah, blue buff invade is probably what Gamma's after, but here comes Vote. How much damage do you really have to use on a Jormungandr? I would assume not much unless Shriek Up makes the rotation, but here comes Aurora as well. They really just want the buff. There's no way they're looking for kills at this point.
It's taken him a little bit of time, but the buff does go down. Aurora now going to force the ultimate out of Vote, who loses half his health there, or at least a third, and fall back defensively once again. You boring, boring boys.
Vote's terrified. That was 2 tanks. There was no way he was ever dying there, but you don't want to be the first one to die.
No.
And you'd rather lose it than not, but finally some action. The Cold Fury gets pulled.
Cold Fury? Well, Quig's going to go in here and check, but he's scared of stepping up. He's going to have to step up soon. Aurora's running all the way from solo lane for the steal. Won't happen. NBKs get the Gold Fury. Now Aurora's putting the pressure on Cyclone, who just horses up and runs away. Hurrywin in the mid lane, zoning away. Vote, who's got no ultimate, and he will end up falling down to the ultimate coming out there and the backup from Gamma. First blood for a Gold Fury and a Pyromancer. I feel good if I'm the NBKs.
Yeah, I would think so. The unstable, I mean, it just seems to me like Vote didn't have to ult previously. He gets his Aegis forced out. Unfortunate positioning there, but you're able to get the Fury. You're able to get out. I think it was a great call. Cyclone immediately got on the horse and said, we are leaving. There is no reason to stick around. This fight is done. Unstable Vortex, though, they were able to grab the beacon afterwards. Seems like that was relatively uncontested because you don't have your jungler. Why would you step up to that fight?
And with stacks now coming online for Striker, he's at 25, I believe that says, on his tablet stacks. And Book of Thoth already completed. Meanwhile, Horiwind picked up the Transcendence and got a bit of crit online. We've seen 2 fail knots this game.
Yep, the ability hunters love going fail knot. That extra CDR really does start to help out, especially if you're fighting after your ult. At the very least, the stat stick is nice, right? If you're going to go full ability base, at least you have a little bit of that crit chance in case you have to use your auto attacks to get out of a sticky situation. Just seems like the Transcendent Soul Eater Fail Knot combo is not going anywhere. If you are an ability-based hunter, that combo seems to be here to stay. But remember, when we listened into the NBK's comms, they were very confident in their fight around Pyromancer. They should be playing through Pyros this game.
Yep.
They were able to pull one already. It's about to spawn in here once again. You got to assume, considering all the vision they have, they're gearing up for something, at the very least in their inventory. Everyone is just full in their consumable slot with wards. Maybe a Pyromancer fight coming soon.
I am disappointed, though, in the support team that, you know, they didn't secure either objective. They weren't even on time for these objectives to see what's going on. That doesn't make sense to me, right? Like, surely they should be the ones noticing these things a little bit earlier. Are they so zoned in on trying to play one on the spot? Well, Davey is under pressure here.
So far, knocked up, but once again, it is just the tanks. Aurora really does like showing some face towards solo lane. As the Pyromancer starts up, Hurrywin goes in for the steal attempt, but gets nothing. The NBKs are going to grab it, and 2 Runic Bombs for Cyclone Spin. Now, here's what I want to see. Because you have the 2 Runic Bombs, there's not too much danger of fighting.
Yep.
Group up, destroy a tier 1 tower.
You don't need to, you just send him on his own.
Yeah.
He doesn't need help.
At this point, just make use of it, because if you don't, if the game is going to keep balancing how it's been, hold that thought.
Actual fight. Preds has to beat early on, trying to take on Barracuda, who jumps away after the Darkest of Nights. Preds thinking about going in. He's trying to buy time for the rest of his team to rotate round the back. They won't find it. Instead, they're looking for a pick onto Streak Up or Cyclone. Bad news is, Cyclone's creating enough space to keep Horiwind and Quick out of the fray. And Preds wasn't able to find the kill on the left-hand side. It's all boring once again.
Yep, seems like it. Vote does go in for the ultimate, though. I believe he finds Preds, who did not have the relics, and gets the 100-0. Unfortunate. Preds had no idea that ultimate was coming, was just going for a shield buff, and Vote said, hey, I never lost your scent, buddy.
That's a greedy jungler situation. That used everything, still trying to pick up farm at the tail end and get punished for it. So I do believe the beacon both times has gone to Vortex. But all the other objectives so far have gone to NBKs. They're grouping up mid now, have 2 bombs. They might not want to use it on this first one if they can help it, but with Gamma being here, they may have to. Gamma ulting to zone them away from the tier 1 tower. Keep an eye on the knock-ups and knockdowns, just trying to zone them away as Aurora takes a ton of damage. Horiwin's there for backup damage. It's not enough for a kill yet. Streakup's got ages to avoid as much as he can, but now Gamma has used everything he can, and as soon as he does, he gets sundered and bursted down. Streakup with his first kill. Horiwin could be next on the cards, but a good wall from Aurora keeps him topped up for now. Cyclone still dashing in and Vote round the back with a double wall. Now the damage is there from Cyclone, but it's not enough. Cyclone has to escape the tower. Pred should be able to find the kill on him. Meanwhile, Streakup down to the back line to find the kill. And now he's got a 1v1 with Quig. Aurora's still alive, though. And Davey and Preds are going at it at the back. Preds wants a kill, but he's just not got the abilities available to find the target he's after.
Pred still has Bat Out of Hell and maybe looking to chase this one down, but doesn't have too much damage and a lot of survivability for the NBK. Jumps forward, finally forced into the ultimate, but here comes Vote going to the sky. Who's his target? I think he wants Preds.
Anyone, to be honest, he could go on at this point in time. Good stun all in on Quig. Quig still had beads and Aegis, uses him. Then the ultimate out from Aurora to keep Quig top as he backs away. Streakup dashing in to continue the chase, and the knockup is good. Spin to win hits 2, and another spin to win takes his life. Vote credit with a kill. The back of the fight, though, Preds did finally find Barracuda. Looking now at Davey, but Davey's winning the battle of wills between the two. And Streakup's like, thank you for my 3rd kill of the game. As Vote now limps away, we got some action.
Wow, Gambit did not have the range to find the spit there onto Vote. Unfortunate. Decided to chase him down, could not find it. Streakup and Davey go absolutely massive in that fight. Starting off, I'm pretty sure Streakup goes down if Davey doesn't make sure to continuously just Tiger Stun onto Gamma. Forced him back, he has to teleport back in, and just could not make the same impact after he goes down. Of course, after that, Streakup just jumps into tier 2 tower. Yeah. This Tiamat doing massive damage. The breastplate is paying dividends, tanking up that tower, gets out scot-free. We saw a little bit of a 1v1 between Quig, but if you see the Neath build, not quite online yet. 3 items, not enough to burn through a tanky Tiamat, especially when she jumps down into that ground stance.
Yeah, that blue buff, the blue build has come back, it feels like, and it's coming back with authority. A lot of people realizing now, that this Breastplate of Valor is viable. You don't do damage if you're dead. It's one of the biggest things of the game. Like, if you can survive, it's important. Horrorwind might not survive here as the wall connects from Vote, but he's worried about follow-up, and there's a defensive Neath ultimate to stop that. NBKs will get the beacon and start to turn their attention to the Oni Fury. However, without that Thor ultimate available here, Trelly, there's a chance the Vortex could turn this around.
They're stepping forward. It seems like Aurora's going to be the first one in and already takes a big heap of damage. Has to dash away, but Davies there on the chase down.
Now look at Horrorwind try to go in and steal it away. Won't be the case. Oni Fury goes away with NBK. Gamma and zone duty as the walls crush onto Davies to slow him down again. Both solo laners ulting defensively. Gamma going to go in for as much damage as he can here, give vision to his team too, but the chase is on and NBKs have grouped nicely.
Yeah, Prez had the chase down. It looks like Gamma's the first one back, but how long can he stand in front of 5? Not very. Has to take away with his tail between his legs, and it's only Aurora. It seemed like the unstable Vortex wanted to fight, but now they're all bailing.
Yeah, they all just abandoned the front line, who was still going in on this. Now Aurora surrounded and will end up falling down. The dash connects. The damage of the wall, not enough, but Vote's ultimate is back up again. Looking for a dunk target, it won't be Aurora. He'll look at Horrorwind and get the beads and Aegis too. Now Davey chasing in with the Oxform as well to follow up. They all want to dive the Marty, but Marty's under a tier 2. And NBKs make a good call, not going for kills there. Instead, they're looking
Quick
for more
back?
bombs, potentially. Oh, well, Quick's going to back now, let me tell you. Not the way he wants to.
Yeah, Quick had his retreat, and then he's like, oh, I could maybe get a free kill if I sit here. He did not expect 4 members of the NBKs to come around the corner. Now, who cares about Pyromancer? Why not start the Fire Giant while the Titans are pushing over left? That's a great distraction for the last couple members of Vortex. Gamma, does he even know fire's being done, or does he not think he can steal it is the question. He's got one shot, and he doesn't have much damage to go for it.
One opportunity for Gamma then. What can he do here? Going to look for, trying to just cause problems, trying to poke out Cyclone who's tanking this, but that's all she wrote. Can't go in. Did have his ultimate, but I don't think there was a ton they could have done there. The Titan, meanwhile, are pushing down the left-hand side. Preds looking for the 1v1 against Vote. Will find it at the tail end there as the hammer of the wall wasn't there in time.
Yeah, not an easy fight to take as a Thor. If you're landing on your ultimate, sure, you have great initiation. But if you're just trying to freehand out damage a Soul Eater Camazotz, very difficult to do, and Vote learns that one the hard way. Also lost his Aegis in the process. But your team gets Fire Giant on 4. The NBKs have the ability to just group up, defend the Titan, maybe at this tier 2. You probably have to get the tier 1 up, considering Vote's gone, but not the end of the world. The NBKs are just going to play this one slow. Wow, Unstable actually doesn't even push that tier 1 tower. They don't find it that useful, and I guess they don't feel like they really want to risk getting a fight, even at this point, right? With this many down, does not seem like an easy call to make.
Barrow with a technical pause, I'm guessing, between this, or like maybe a tactical pause, you know, hey guys, listen, we're up, we've got FG, what do we do next? And how is this going to play out between the two of them? Because at the moment, I'm not going to lie, I'm glad there's 2 support teams in this Trelly, because this one is looking rubbish right now, in my opinion. I was expecting more.
And you really want the supports to succeed, as you are a support main yourself, or you just want chaos?
Both.
Okay, so
both
in this case,
of the above. I'm always going to root for an underdog, whatever the situation is. And let's be honest, coming into this, everyone was like the supports are probably the worst out of the role.
I was more leaning towards the ADCs just because I feel like what you said earlier on, they get their hands held a lot. You know, they need the supports to make sure they can make it to late game. And then they're just like the best role in the game once they get there, so it's just easy at that point. So I'm glad that they are coming out with a vengeance. It does seem that some of these off-role players are looking good. I've been liking the shot calls from Cyclone. I've been liking the rotations in. Vote takes some interesting fights, but hey, if you're going aggressive with the Anvil of Dawn, then I approve of your Thor play as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah, I completely agree. I think Vote's doing a good job in the jungle. Overall, I think everyone kind of is doing what they need to do in their roles. It was very lackluster in terms of action early on in this game, and then all of a sudden, a Gold Fury, a Pyromancer, and now we're fighting more openly in the jungle, so we'll see how this plays out.
Yeah, I really thought it was going to be a 0-0 game until Fire Giant, but luckily that was not the case, and we finally did start to see those sparks fly. But with the NBKs in this commanding position, once Vote spawns back in, I'm thinking tier 2 towers certainly on the mark, but
on the left, yep.
Are you interested in breaking the base? Is Phoenix something you can go for this early on? It's still a bit sketchy. Those Phoenixes, that damage does start to add up. Without a pick, without some sort of ease of access to the Phoenix, we may be waiting for EFG or at least the next spawn in a Fire Giant.
Definitely towers for sure at this point, right? Try and strip the map of all the tier 2s if possible. You've also do have a bomb available as well on the side of Davey that they could look for a cheeky Phoenix attempt on if the window presents itself. But The early FGs, Trelly, they're all about building a gold lead, really, more than anything else.
It certainly is, which I think as long as you're able to control the map space and remove those tier 2s, it makes Unstable Vortex feel a lot more unsafe in their own base, right? You don't have that bastion of safety. You have to be underneath your Phoenix just to make sure you're not getting ganked. Factor in a Thor into the mix. You always have to be looking towards the skies. You want to make sure you're under Phoenix unless those beads are gone. Then you could just be 100-0 at any moment. Because of that, no one's really out of base except for Preds. There is a rogue Camazotz that is deep in the jungle, and I was curious if Vote would find him out.
Well, he's going to be late game back to this right now.
If I had to guess, I would say Preds wanted the 1v1 with Vote, tried to find him at speed buff, but didn't end up catching him in the jungle.
Bit of split push going on now. 2 members of the NBKs are now pushing down for the tier 2 in mid lane as well, while the 3 buy time on the left-hand side. They don't have a bomb of them left, so it really is just presented and forced while this window of opportunity is created by that pressure. But do we see a fight over here now? Some Wukong and Thor can definitely get over there eventually, but the focus is on Vote in the jungle here. They're trying to collapse in onto the Thor and kill him before he gets to the sky!
Whoa.
But he will get up in time. Gamma goes up too, forces a retreat out from the NBKs. Pressure relieved for now.
Wow, I mean, it was a toss-up between does Vote use his relics or does the ult there? He decides to go for the ult and was not punished. I thought Preds had Crusher for a second. I checked the build. There was no tick damage, nothing that could finish him in the sky. And now the NBKs don't have their Thor ult to try and engage. They still have 1 tier 2 tower they could group up for, but I like the attempt, right? The NBKs said, hey, we're going to put 3 people in left, and then we're just going to see what happens. It turns out they're not going to sit around and wait as Davey goes in.
And everybody just watched him kind of do it. They were all kind of around, but worried about something else going on. The Phoenix does still stand there, and Davey's in an awkward spot at the moment. But Darkest of Nights gives you that extra range to whittle down the Phoenix from range. Gamma coming in to try and prevent that with a Rolls Ultimate 2. Cyclone still trying to zone in the front line, but he'll fall down. Preds loses a 1v1 to Davey there under the Phoenix too, as he kites back into the fray. Mid Phoenix is still up. Left-hand Phoenix is still up. But with Davey and Vote being there, they will take the middle Phoenix and now look to dunk the Horrorwind.
Yeah, Horrorwind needs to be careful underneath the Phoenix, but it looks like Vote calls for the retreat. The rest of the team does not want to go in without Cyclone Spin, and you take your 1 Phoenix. Again, first Fire Giant of the game. You don't want to bite off more than you can chew, and because of that, you can retreat over towards the Primal Fury, which is still available, and that's going to help out for the next pull. I think it's a full-on retreat. Well, I love that play.
We're down. MBKs are up heavily after this as they take the Fury. Let's have a listen into the Unstable Vortex comms though and see exactly how they're going to try and battle back into this game.
That's my root.
I still don't. Oh, I didn't get him. Dang.
No.
I'm gonna push left. Maybe look for shield cam.
I think you should take this, by the way.
Yeah, sure.
I don't have like
Yeah.
as many prots for it.
Do we just want to play? Do we want to play fire defense? Or do we want to try to defend siege again?
They own it. They own us if we walk in the jungle with Thor.
Yeah, I don't have beats for 90, so maybe it's a given.
Yeah, neither do I.
Can we try to do? Can we fight them? Can we fight them at Pyro? Or no,
do you think they're gonna be on left?
Nah.
Or can just keep pushing here?
They could come left. There's nothing up right now.
Yeah, I'm gonna back them.
Pyro's
I have no
coming
beats
up.
for 40, so I want to sit back if I can.
Okay.
Fair.
I have hearts.
I mean, that fire giant is gonna be EFG.
Can you guys go? Can we go left right now and just maybe look for a play? Like,
I'm down. Yeah, I'm down. I think it's good.
Alright,
We just need to be careful about
back
Thor.
camps and then come.
Sure.
They
Yeah,
warded
I
right
don't-
there.
You
I mean,
can
we
stay
kinda
there
need
too,
scared.
Gamma, as long as you don't die. Like, if you want to just see what they're
We need
doing.
pyro. They should be right. I'm gonna go left.
They might wait for EFG. I think it'll spawn like 20 seconds before, right?
Yeah, they will.
We should go if it's EFG, like long loop them or something. Maybe we could just do like
Sure.
this.
Sure.
The Thor's
Be a
on
little
blue.
sneaky.
Yeah, I'm gonna submit them.
I'm down actually. Let's do it. Let's long
Alright.
loop them.
The X-Ball probably has Deathbringer now, by the way.
Okay, we're long looping, so get ready for this play.
You heard Hurry, we're long looping. Streak up in mid lane, doesn't know this is going on. There is a mid wave that they need to be careful of getting spotted on here as they do this rotation through mid. They should know about it. Horrorwind, Aurora and Quig doing the long wraparound. Preds baiting in the mid lane and Gamma baiting on this right hand side, but forced to ult early on. Ultimate also used by Jabalonki because they realised that the group was coming. Oh, looking for the pick onto Streak Up, who has to Aegis away as well. The long loop. Was that successful, Chulainn?
It does not seem like it. Just getting the Aegis from Streak Up is not the call because now you can see the NBKs are going forward. Quig already backflip, and here comes Vote.
He's in the sky looking for a dunk, waiting for the beads and Aegis to wear off. But meanwhile, in the back of this, Pred's got to hold a streak up after the long engagement. The dive for the carries here didn't really work out. 2 different fights going on as Davey and Cyclone try and zone away the damage dealers of Vortex. And Gamma and Preds are trying to do what they can to whittle them down. But the good news is, Unstable Vortex hold. They kill Streak Up and delay.
It seemed like the NBKs, they felt confident. They knew they were ahead. Despite the fact they got looped on, they had enough down to go forward. But the split engagement, they just did not have enough. They could not keep Streak up alive. He gets 5-0 shut down there. And then after the fact, Quig, who backflipped before the fight even begins while Vote was in the air, ends up living. They keep him alive with just the Aegis used. So Unstable Vortex should be very happy with how that went down. We heard their comms. They were just worried about Enhanced Fire Giant. And before they even see an attempt towards Enhanced Fire Giant, that mid Phoenix should be respawned. Yeah. And they won't have to worry about fire waves anymore.
So good chance for Unstable Vortex. They're looking to kind of high loop again a little bit here, but Vote caught them out here with a good wall just to prevent it. Aurora still trying to chase through the jungle, get eyes on towards Barracuda, towards Cyclone Spin, and anybody else there. Davey in the mid lane, trying to make sure Quick and Preds can't check and clear too quickly up this mid side. Middle Phoenix is probably going to get one more fire minion wave, maybe two if you're lucky. Push towards it before that Phoenix has fully respawned. And now the dance of the Fire Giant begins.
Yep, the NBKs are here. Cyclone Spin steps forward, the first one into the pit. I don't think they're going for a pull just yet, though. If they were, Cyclone would have already done damage. He just wanted to spot out and so who he could find. Now, EFG starts the pull. There's only one wave of fire minions, and Davey is deep in the backline.
He is. Well, let's listen into the NBKs then as they look to start up this FG siege.
Look for a wall.
Be careful a bit.
You guys can keep chucking abilities. I can just keep cooldowns.
Just doing that green quick.
How much damage do you do this fire bear? We should probably check.
Good.
He has definitely.
I'm gonna hit this.
We don't have like great
Come
secure though.
Come a bit.
I've got a bomb as well. I don't want
Okay. I don't want to bomb secure.
I got
it.
I can heal you guys up, so it's fine. Yeah. I have Cat Club as well, so you more.
Maybe I try to force Camo on mid.
Okay. You want to get? Can we get Oni?
Camera's gonna be really.
Yeah, if we get Oni, it's huge.
Camera's like, I'm fucking camera up. I might chase him here.
Yeah, we chase him. We have vote. Terra's in mid.
My gate's blink at least. Yes, he's old.
Let's just do gold.
Yeah, do gold.
Dashing and gold unleashing. They can't do fire, so we're chilling.
They can never do that objective ever.
Yep.
Oh, they can if Kama commits. If Kama commits to it, they can do it.
Kama back, so we're chilling.
Do we have bomb with here? Wait, you want to go back to our right? We have bomb.
That's what I was thinking.
I could harass them over here.
Yeah, just go mid.
Yeah, we can back to our mid.
Sure.
He almost left.
Mid doesn't really do anything.
Let's go right.
Come a bit, no.
Yeah, he has no ult. Yep, I'm coming.
Yeah, we can commit.
First stun.
He jumped here.
He has blinks. Can come up.
Hey, combat.
Nice.
Terra's here.
We go mid.
I held ult.
I'm here in mid. Terra's mid. Do you want me to ult? Do you want me to ult to tank on site?
No,
I'm charging ult.
Let's TP down.
That's just.
Landed on Martin. Fix.
Okay, careful. It's fine.
I still going. That's ult.
Keep cutting.
I blocked it.
That's his second one.
You guys are meta. You guys are good.
Yeah. Ultimus.
Maybe it's
no, stay here.
I farm Marty.
We just need to stay. We have only waves. I can just heal. Just.
Poke them a lot.
Okay.
I can walk. You want me to walk him now? I can walk.
Yeah. Can we get it? Play for Phoenix.
Going in.
Yeah, I'm taking.
I have ult. So.
On Phoenix. Do you have bomb?
No bomb.
No bomb.
Okay, I'm back up. Sorry.
I'm good. I have ult.
Care for neutral.
Surely.
Need backflip. Fine.
Good point.
The chase was on for the NBKs to try and get a middle Phoenix after taking down Preds, but instead, Unstable Vortex held there. Trill, are you surprised by that?
I mean, I would have been surprised, but I just hear Vote. I got Marty. He lands, miss. He goes, I missed, and then just immediately dies. So if you find the ultimate there, maybe things go a little bit better. It just did not seem like the call was to fight or if it was to back up. Barrow clearly wanted that bird, but with the bomb down, the Phoenix was not going to stop. Because of that, there just was no more fight potential. I think the Thor could have been impactful, but they just could not find the answer to that fight afterwards.
Another pause from the carries here, probably complaining to the admins again of how their Phoenix went down. It didn't go down, it's unfair for the most part, but the supports did hold their ground. They did lose the Oni Fury, have cleared out the minions for the most part, so the dance of the FG continues here. But you heard Cyclone Spin on the comms there talking about they can't really do the FG unless Kama commits. And if they do that, they kind of give up a lot of space control for vision of having the NBKs be able to come in and try and steal that away or force a fight.
Yeah, the biggest threat of even stepping up to a Fire Giant in this meta is there a jungler behind me? Am I about to get one shot? Where's Preds? He was dead there, so there was no fear. They were able to go in for the backdoor play. Does not work out, of course, because it seemed like Unstable. They knew it was coming. Immediately Gamma channels that teleport. He says, I am here. I will, at the very least, be a tanky body that can take some auto attacks, and the NBKs have to back away, especially when that ult from Vote misses. So in the future, I'm wondering if that means the NBKs are going to just stay back, knowing that they don't have to fear a Fire Giant. Maybe some split push strategy comes into play, but does not seem like they have too much to worry about for the time being. I mean, Unstable Vortex, they haven't really made anything aggressive happen besides that one wraparound.
Yeah, I mean, 0-0 still, it's basically supports on defensive duty. Pretty much from minute 1, I want to say. I mean, when I say minute 1, it was 0-0 until 10-15 minutes in.
Yep.
But losing every gold, every pyro so far, and the Fire Giant, and now this one going to be an EFG. It's going to be a tough task for them to get back into it. But you're starting to see a couple of signs of life on defensive duties, at least, of how they can handle it. But it wasn't against a coordinated team, I guess. It didn't feel like the NBKs were all on the same page of about exactly what they wanted to do. Do we go left Phoenix? Do we go weak and middle? I guess.
At the very least, they're talking, and
yeah.
I think that's exciting.
Cyclone sounds like a real leader there.
Yeah, he really. Yeah, it seems like this is just something that he's been doing his whole career, right? Just whether it's he's a hunter or a support, he knows exactly where they should be. You know, he's got sustain. He knows the Oni minions are coming, so they can push forward. He knows that Fire Giant can't be done because Camazotz isn't there. All of that puts your mind at ease. But Unstable started up.
Gamma on zone duty. No Cyclones in. No Davies in technically. Trying to keep the rest of the damage dealers away, but Aurora taking a ton of damage from this EFG. Cyclone in the pit, trying to cause a distraction. Gamma up in the ultimate, trying to cause some problems for the backline. The FG getting very low. And the NBKs steal it away. Now the chase is on to find some kills at the tail end of this. Vote will claim the life of Huriwin as he lands. It was Barracuda's basic attack that stole away the FG. They couldn't keep them out of the base long enough, and with EFG on all 5 members and 2 members of the Vortex dead, this could be the end of the game, or at least that middle Phoenix.
Yeah, Midbird goes down. The NBKs don't look like they're going for other Phoenixes. It looks like they want that Titan. They're going to step forward. How much damage can Quick dish out? That is the question.
How much damage can NBKs tank? That's the real question here, because this Titan is pretty tanky here. They're trying to keep the carries off of this Titan, but it's too little too late. Quick zoned out. Titan below 10% health. Aurora goes in, and game 1 goes to the NBKs. Carries claiming first blood.
I mean, such an interesting play there from Unstable. It didn't seem like they had to make that EFG call. I mean, it didn't take a rocket scientist to see how slow it was taking for that Fire Giant to go down. Aurora, I want to say he was at 10% before they even showed up. His HP was so low. Afterwards, you leave your Mari behind. Sure, he's got death from above, but he's not able to retreat. He goes up to the sky for a moment. He can't just get out. And I mean, NBK said, oh, we don't have to pull EFG. You're just going to give it to us, and then we can win the fight after. We'll take that every day.
Thanks very much. Well, with that, it is a best of 3 here, so there is a chance for the supports to come back in game 2. Second of all, none of those gods can be played again. It's part of the event this weekend. If a god gets played in a set, can't be played again. So what do you reckon is the top pick available?
Now that all that's gone, I mean, Set is still going to have to be banned away. There's no doubt about it. I imagine Janus could come into favor just because the Unstables want to play their mascot. I'm excited to see what comes from this.
We'll find out. After this break, we'll be back with Game 2.
Love's hitting me, baby Jesus talk to me, photo smoking on my, please don't know that I can see, all this love is hitting me, baby Jesus talk to me, photo smoking on my, I'm feeling myself, feeling myself. I'm feeling myself, feeling myself. Baby, face so numb, baby, so numb. Please don't know that I can see all this love's hitting me. Baby, Jesus talk to me. Photo smoking on my. Please don't know that I can see. All this love is hitting me. Feeling myself. Baby, Jesus talk to me. Photo smoking on. so long, feeling easy so long. All this love is hitting me. There's a lot that I can see. There's a lot that I can see. Focus on me on my feeling easy so long. All this love is hitting me.
For the energy, I ain't worried, give a fuck about the enemy. Beat it, got them thinking it was 10 of me. That's why tonight I'm on the weed, not the Hennessy. Lying, but I tell you how it really be. Saturday like a Tuesday, came through with the sauce for the soul food. Eat good, smoke great, that's a whole move. Whole time, half time for the smoke break. In the mission, from the mission for the long cake. Laced up, rope chain, got my tongue tied.
If you have not already, go over to advanced.gg and pick up your Baron's Brew flavor, now available right here and right now. Again, go to advanced.gg, search up Baron's Brew at the very top, and make sure to pick up your flavor today. And if it's any indication as to how good not just this flavor is, but pretty much anything that Advanced.gg has to offer, the flavors that we have here on the desk are empty. Yeah. These are just for display at this point. There's nothing left in mine here, in Gore's over there. There's none of that available.
And so, probably the two that are over in the caster shot. One of those looks sealed still, so that means it's new. And that's the only thing that it could possibly mean.
Yeah, that's the only reason any of these flavors in here would have any of the power
left in them.
Oh,
no, that's not sealed. That's just a light off the label. Never mind. It's also empty.
I'm pretty sure everything's been empty since we've gotten it. And if you want to get a discount, use code SMITE for 10% off of your order from AdvancedGG. Thank you so much for AdvancedGG for joining us in Year 10 of SMITE and Season 10 of the SMITE Pro League. Maybe some of these players need to get some Baron's Brew, get some energy going, because Gore, that was the quietest first 17 minutes of a Roll Stars match we have seen yet.
Yeah.
It just, nothing happened for 17 minutes. All of a sudden, First Blood kicks up. Everybody gets a little bit more energized, gets things rolling a little bit more, and then the carries really start to pick things up. They pick up a few more kills. And from that point, it's the NBKs who were just starting to roll through the competition. We had a moment where Unstable Vortex tried to fight back, but they went for this weird, we heard it in the comments, they said, we're going to go for the wraparound. We're going to go for the super wraparound, as they said, to try and kill, I believe it was Streak up in the mid.
Yeah.
And it took them like 2 minutes to do the wraparound, and then like another 2 to kill him.
Yeah.
Because they didn't kill him, and then they had to come back and kill him again.
Yeah.
It didn't work out.
It didn't work out.
No.
There have been accusations levied against both of these teams for maybe trying a little too hard, buddy. Like, I mean, look, 3 kills, 20 minutes. That's what me and Chelly were getting in finals at Masters, buddy. Like, it is definitely a slower pace. It does create some questions. I mean, you really get to see the carries, I think, and the Hunters here, in the NBKs, pick up their pressure, pick up their kill potential, and I really think it's to kind of showcase what they have to offer outside of it. I am curious to see what gods they're going to go to, knowing that some of these are gone, like what Vote's jungle would be, assuming that he's going to stay jungle. But if you're looking towards the supports, there were definitely a lot of moments. I mean, even here, you know, you're 5,000 gold down, which is just, I don't know, it's interesting to me to see that things were falling apart for them as much as they were. I have to give credit where credit's due. And I think it is due over to the EUSCC, right? Davey had a beautiful, beautiful, beautiful early game. A lot of assists to really help out in mid, and guess who he's helping? That's right, Streak Up. And so the two of them really standing out, I think, early on, right? 1-0 and 8, and then 6-1 and 1, making sure things get online. Terra being able to rack up some assists, and then eventually Vote getting involved a lot, as well as Cyclone's been in terms of like CC and setup for the team. So really, I think that the NBKs did a great job transitioning. I would love to see them do what they were doing towards the end a little earlier, but you've got 3 European players on here. You've got 2 of them that are in the EUSCC. If they're going to play slow, they're going to play slow, but they're going to still beat you at the end of the day, and that's kind of what happens here, is they just take it to the length that they know that they're going to find their success, and that's when they start looking for those kills, and by the time they get to the team fight, you've got a Wukong that's playing well, you've got great presence in mid and in jungle, and then you start to stack on what Terra and Cyclone were bringing from the duo lane, and it was just too much fight to handle.
A little too much fight, not quite enough sustain, and not enough punch back here from the supports of Unstable Vortex. They drop down in game number 1 and move into game number 2, and if you're just now tuning in, you're saying, man, what's an unavailable gods thing that's popping up there, or you missed the very end of that last little cast. Well, since game 1 is done, all 10 of those pictures are gods that were played in game number 1 and therefore not available for the rest of the set for these 2 teams. Once the set's done, everything opens back up, but for the rest of this matchup, this best of 3, you cannot see any of those 10 gods listed on your screen, and then whatever 10 gods get picked to play in this game, if we go to a game 3, will also not be available, which brings a total of 20 gods that are automatically unavailable for. This isn't ones that, like, you can pick to ban away from. They just can't play them, but you can still ban them. No, completely off the table. No need to pick, no need to ban at all for those ones. Unstable Vortex does take first pick up against NBKs. Now, last time, Marty made it through for first pick, and Unstable didn't really do a whole lot with the Marty.
No.
It was a very lackluster performance overall, I would say. Like, so I walked off this desk saying, this could be one of our bloodiest matches that we have seen yet.
Yeah.
All you need is that one person to do a run-it-down style of play, and you're going to be watching Arena on the Conquest
Man,
map.
and you're so lucky you said could, because otherwise you'd have been roasted.
Because then immediately after, I also said, or this could be one of our tamest sets. And we got the latter.
Too tame.
I would say way too tame. Like,
what I'm going to say...
we need one run it down.
I broke my W key. And this is like, I broke my W key at home. That's what I want from these guys. I want you to be frustrated while you're playing because you have to peel the key off of your finger because you broke the plastic that holds it down in the keycap, and then you have to press the actual switch itself as opposed to pressing a key, and then rip a key off of your numpad to replace your W key, which is still there because you haven't bought a replacement. That's what I want from these guys.
Hold on. Is this coming from personal experience now?
This is all. That is my home setup. I took the star key off of my numpad to replace my W key. And the key's not the same size, it's a little thicker too.
Oh no.
So it's like a little awkward.
So you got like wider as like it's a little taller so it stands a little higher than this? Oh, that's the worst.
But I'll tell you what I didn't do. Back down, baby. I broke that W key, and that's what I want from these players, man.
That S key is pristine right now.
Yep.
That W key, no.
The W key's in the trash.
W key's gone.
It's been gone.
It's gone. And about to need another replacement from your star key as well. First gods picked up, though, for game number 2. Unstable Vortex. They grab themselves a Ravana, NBKs. It's like Ratatoskr and Bacchus for their first 2, and then a Chiron to round at the top. Now, we were wondering about the Hurrywind Giannis.
Yeah.
We mentioned it as a game 1, but we also said you don't want to bring it on game 1 because then you don't have it in your back pocket if you need it to win for game number 2 or if you maybe need to go to a game 3. This time, though, Hurrywind's not going to let that one slide through. A Giannis for himself and a Morrigan for the opposite end.
Honestly, I like where Unstable Vortex is at with their draft. You've got Chiron, good long-range engage, decent damage, feels good, survivable. It brings what you would need in a carry. Ravana, the only issue I'm going to pick is the last time we saw this team first pick something that was really good, it didn't do too much. So I want to see more out of the Ravana than we got out of the Marty. Admittedly, it feels like the Marty was a product of kind of everything around him as well, whereas Ravana can create his own scenarios, right? So it should be able to get some things done. And Hurry Giannis is it's a special. Back when he was playing in E United in Season 7, he still holds one of my favorite plays, which was one of those cross-map ults around a Phoenix line where they all stacked up, I believe they either stacked on left and went right or stacked on right and ulted left. But it looked great, played great, got him a Phoenix, and opened some opportunities. The downside is that with a Morrigan, you can't just get away with that because they could copy you. So there is that rotation change. It's probably not the best change for you in this lobby even. I mean, out of the 6 gods that are on the screen, I'm thinking you want Ravana, Baka, or Rat before you even think of a Giannis, but maybe that ult comes in handy. Maybe that can change some things. And it does depend, I think, entirely on the NBKs. I mean, vibe check, right? What do they want in mid? How are they feeling? What are they thinking is a good transformation? And what are they comfortable with transforming into? Normally, when we talk about the Morrigan players, we're talking about the mid laners. And they've got a lot of experience at this point. If you're in mid, you've played assassins and metas recently. You've played, your warriors because that's just somebody that you're going to transform into on occasion. And so right now, there are really good transformation options for you. It's how well can the carries play a Morrigan to transform into another role on top of all that. And so maybe some pressure on them to make that work.
Second wave of bans, more support bans by the NBKs. There's a Ganesh, Ares, Yemoja, Kabrakan, and Gamma. Opposite side for Unstable, they only banned 2. We'll call it 2 hunters this time with Ulrarun. We've been seeing them go a lot over into the dual lane. Ulrarun and Rom, but couple that Rom with an E set for at least the second wave of those bans. NBKs will now pick up an Amaterasu for themselves. And with a Ratatoskr Bakasura already, Baka to the jungle, we've seen Rat solo, but we also primarily only see Ama solo. It's been a while, but Gore might be in for a treat for an Amaterasu support, possibly. I was thinking Ama support.
Me and you went in different directions, because you went for the inbound Ama support that we saw last year. Question mark?
There was a whole meta. It was like season 6 or 7.
A good point. That was a long time.
Where it was just Ama support. If it was like Ama and Morrigan was like the combo you ran. So instead of Morrigan Cthulhu, you ran Morrigan Ama. So you just got 2 of them.
And admittedly, I think yours has way more merit because Cyclone has a good Ama. So I would trust him to play that. I was going to the once tried, did not work, Raffer Ratatosker support.
The rat for support, yeah.
Was that had to have been Season 8 that he did that.
I think that was.
It wasn't great, but it was something. And so it technically existed. But I like what you said a little bit more, right? Rat solo, Baka in the jungle, and then Ama being thrown over towards the support role. I think Cyclone's going to make it look good. I'm still a little, not even question marky about the Morgan. I'm just curious, like, what transformations they're going to choose up front and foremost. It feels like there's a lot of good ones in this. Raven, Pele, Baka, Rat. Any of those that get ahead, you're going to have an easy transformation into. You could even go for Ama if you need another, like, tanky frontliner to go for an ult or an engage. We had mentioned the Giannis for some of the global. So there's definitely a lot of interesting plays and opportunities, I think, for the NBKs. Squishier, though, overall. You've got some really tanky bodies and survivable bodies, I would say, on Unstable Vortex. Raven, Kuzenbo should be relatively tanky and good at disengage. Pele, you have to use your ult to get away, so it's not the best feeling, but we also saw what a Pele can do earlier in the right hands and Pagon, so maybe Unstable Vortex can try to give us a treat. Maybe Pagon will be shaking his head in shame in the next 30 minutes. Who knows? The Giannis feels good, very slippery. Chiron, very slippery. And so it feels like the Unstable Vortex team has gone for something that's just a little more safe overall, while still being able to get some things done. Meanwhile, NBKs, I see Rat, I see Ama, I want to see them get aggressive immediately. I want to see Bakasura go for a gank, double assassin in the solo lane, go for a kill early, and I want to see Ama leading this Jingwei to water and just letting her find whatever kills happens to be there. It should be pretty helpful overall and pretty aggressive, but the last time we said that, they didn't do that. So that is maybe some projection, maybe some wants, but also it feels like that's how this draft should be played.
Yeah, it really does, at least for the NBK style draft, indicate, you know, you have Bakasura, you have Ratatosker, you have Ama. Those are three fairly aggressive gods, no matter where you end up placing those ones, especially the Bakasura. Once you get level 5, you really want to try and get active against some of these less mobile targets. Try and shut down the Giannis as quickly as you can. We'll have to see how early these teams decide to fight. Will it be another 17-minute first blood? Will we see 17 kills by that point? Who knows? Only way to find out is to jump right into game number 2.
Jeez, it better not be a 17-minute first blood. I haven't got the stamina for this anymore, Charlie. You can't go that long without a first blood, surely.
Nah, I'm thinking we're going to see some more action early on. I see a lot more assassins, which usually indicates early pressure. You know, there's.
Yeah, Hazer was going to probably threaten to get his feet out on stream for entertainment at one point.
Well, it's a good thing he doesn't have to now. He still can if he wants to, but he doesn't have to because I think you got a Roar on the Pele solo, Preds. He's going to be on that Raven. Both of those can get active very early on if given the opportunity. Look on the other side, Vote and Davey also on these assassins. Throw the Morgan in the mix. She can essentially be an assassin as well at level 5. I'm thinking we'll see Sparks fly a bit earlier on than that.
You know, I expected to maybe see some role changes between them, but they've all kind of gone back to what they were doing. Or did they? Where's a Raw right now? Is he on? Yeah, they did do it. Gamma is going to be playing support this game by the looks of it, and a Raw is on the Pele solo this game, so we get to see a Raw getting active early.
Yep, that is the play. He's going the Sigil, which means you don't do too much damage early on. You are playing for a little bit later, but you still have the ability to, just because of the way Pele's kit works. I think that she's going to have some decent clear at the Pyro class, so shouldn't be too passive of an early game. As long as Aurora wants to stack up that Soul Leader, he's going to have to step forward, and that should give us at least some blue buff invades or some fighting nearby.
3 camp pulls from both teams yet again going on in the dual lane. The Nene Kappa definitely helps out if you can get the triple bounce like that, as it will also tank up a bit of damage, but it's going to take a bit of time for both these two to bring them down. Who's going to make it to lane first is the real question here, and at the moment it's looking like it's going to be the NBKs ever so slightly.
Yeah, Gamma walked forward thinking he could go for a steal or maybe just stop Terra from getting the lane. Unfortunately for him, it looks like level 2 will definitely come to Unstable first, and that means Gamma gets a push as well. Cyclone should be fine, but lane pressure going to Unstable Vortex.
Yeah, just hitting that level 2 gives you an opportune moment to maybe burn a relic for someone, but Aurora's in danger early on, and Davy's taking it to him! Davy with first blood in the solo lane, Aurora in tatters.
This is what I'm talking about, man. The Pele, you want to step forward, you want to do damage, but throw a Sigil in the mix, and you don't really have the ability to. Not early on, not against Bluestone Rat.
No.
And Davy makes sure to make short work of Aurora. Thanks to that Horn Shard as well. The extra CD definitely helps out when you're going for plays like that. Aurora would love to return, but actually is still getting poked out despite the fact that he just teleported in.
Yeah, he's going to go for it again, I guess. Now, mid lane, Horrorwind on one of his signature gods once upon a time, the Giannis. He can't lose on this, right? Surely. Surely.
You want me to lie or what?
Yeah, I mean, no, you shouldn't need to, should you?
I don't think that. I mean, I love Giannis. I'm not saying that Hurry wins Giannis is bad. I'm just not saying it's not the win con, you know? It's not like, GG, this game is over. Hurry win got Giannis. On his own accord, we got to talk to him during the draft show, and he said, once upon a time, I was a pro mid laner. Nowadays, I'm like, I think he said diamond or platinum mid laner, he's not swinging the way he used to.
Right, I see what you mean there. And talking about that comp a little bit more for the unstable Vortex, I guess, it's very good that they've got their backliners that can get involved in the frontline engagements that are going to come on here. They're very dive heavy with the Pele, with the Raven, and with Kuzumbo. The backline can support with their ultimates at least, and maybe get involved and get some damage out. I think that's why we see the Chiron pick up here.
Yeah, we definitely see triple dive with the Giannis and the Chiron, hopefully providing long-range damage without having to get involved. The unfortunate truth is, Vote's not going to care, Streak Up's not going to care, Davey not going to care. They have the ability to close that gap. It doesn't matter how far away you are. Streak Up can just turn to a Giannis himself and follow you through the space and time if he wants to.
Yeah, that's a good point there, because we don't really touch on the Morrigan just yet. The desk, you know, Gore was talking about all the opportune targets. Never mentioned the Giannis at the time. And in my head, I'm like, hey, kind of gives as good as it gets there. Aurora versus Davey round 2. But Vote is on the way this time. Vote going to eat a creep to try and get in range. But Davey took more damage than bargained for, and Davey's going to fall down to Preds. You saw the teleport attempt there, I believe, trying to get the teleport off at the end there. Was it a base? It was a TP, right?
Yeah, it seemed like he was either...
What a waste.
Yeah, he did not get it off. Unfortunate. Seemed like he wanted to do a lot of different things, but just could not make it away. Too much damage heading his way, and now Davey's got some trouble. His teleport's gone. He doesn't have anything to really show for it. He wanted to get some more items online, but could not find it. And now Gamma looking to get active onto Barracuda. Barra's got beads, should be fine, but looks like he's going to hold on to him. Trusted that damage wouldn't connect.
You saw the space inside by Horry there, just hoping they could catch Barra at the tail end of that too, after he just hit level 5. So 1-1 so far. Slight gold lead for the unstable Vortex side here. You'd like to see that if you're a support player. Horwin going to show you just how much damage those mid-harpies can do to a solo mid laner with no support.
It's so unfortunate, man. A lot of the buffs in the mid camps just absolutely swing. If you're trying to be a solo agent, it just can't happen. You're going to get half health.
You should have to share. You shouldn't get all that free farm.
Well, I'm okay with sharing if the jungler is competent and it's like, oh, you need help, I'll be there for the mid camps. Where are they at? Where was Preds? Doing right.
Preds, you're not competent according to Trelly. That's what he just confirmed was there. Cyclone, is he competent on the invade here? He's looking to try and steal the purple, slow them down and do it. It's just a dance of the devil here. Pulled in tower range, though. 2 tower shots is good.
No shot.
But the focus was on trying to get the buff, and they didn't even get it.
Wow, Cyclone gets pushed under tower, stays calm, cools a cucumber, steals the buff away anyway, and then walks away for free.
Turnaround kill, not going to happen. Just out of mana to really find any further follow-up there. But Davy's ultimate is on cooldown here. Aurora still has his up. Once he gets a bit more mana, he could look for an all-in if he feels confident.
Yeah, he's got the ability to. He had a chance there and decided against it. Popped that horn shard just for some more cooldowns for the Pyro class. I'm thinking he wants to clear that wave more than anything. He wants to get Soul Eater, and then maybe we start looking for 1v1s in lane. But against the Rat, he upgraded his Acorn, Davey. He's going to have plenty of extra tank stats with the double flurry that the Thick Bark Acorn provides. And not easy to try and fight into that one.
Vote meanwhile on the Bacchusura, playing a classic Bacchusura game. Just invading where he can, stealing away from. It's so hard to contest a Bacchusura jungle just because he can consume these minions so quickly and his mobility to escape afterwards.
Yep, I think Prez is smart for being on the opposite side of the map as Vote at any given moment, right? If you're trying to farm, if Vote goes right, you go left and vice versa. A little bit of a scrap towards solo lane, and here comes Vote. And also fighting over on the left lane. Not easy to keep track of this one.
No, but Duck's doing a great job as Davey takes to the sky now. Vote's here looking at Aurora. Aurora has his ultimate available. May need to use it for some distance. He went back in! And in terms of going back in, he got punished pretty heavily there as the dunk did come down from Davey after the fact. Meanwhile, left-hand side, more pressure from Cyclone on towards Quig. He's really showing what Amaterasu support used to bring when we used to see it, picked in the duo lane so much.
Yep, Quig used the ultimate just to try and clear the wave safely. All the while Gamma goes. It triple bounces the purple buff. He steals it away. Make sure the Barracuda not going to be able to pick that one up despite getting some easy farm over on the left side of the map. I mean, all the while, a lot of action over towards right. I can see why Vote wants to get active in the right lane. It seems like as long as Aurora, and you can block that ultimate if the Volcanic Lightning doesn't go down and doesn't get you far away from Davey. Easy pickings, and so far it's been able to net at least 2 kills because Aurora's sitting 0-2 and both Davey and Vote have been able to pick one up.
Left hand side and Sable Vortex stealing away the green buff. Preds and Gamma combining there just to keep trying to strip as much jungle as they can. So, like you said, it's a tale of left-hand side is all unstable, Vortex being aggressive, right-hand side the NBKs. I guess some of that is when you look at the Bacchus matchups, it's not easy for him to necessarily gank onto the Giannis or the duo lane when beads are always available.
Yeah, it's not. It is something that can happen, of course, but it seems like Vote wants to play through Davey. I'm guessing that was the call. Hey, let's get this rat online because you're getting your solo ahead, you're getting those rotations earlier, and you're giving Streak Up a great transformation, especially if you get some more itemization online. Streak Up also gets access, but Preds,
I love this window, by the way.
Thinks about going over the wall, has the ability to, blinks right through.
What's Davey's face like? Not too upset about it, I guess. Meanwhile, back to the left-hand side, aggressive from Vote, who's over here now looking at Quig. Quig gets back to his tower, cleanses himself as well, just in case he needs to dash away. But the purple buff is what the focus was on from NBKs there, trying to steal that away from the unstable Vortex.
I really do want to see these mid laners get involved. I mean, we saw Hurrywind's ult go for a 1 HP Baron, ends up getting off the mark. That's about it. That's all that we've seen so far from Hurrywind and Streak Up. Those ults are on cooldown for a reason, or off cooldown rather. I would like to see at least some of this global presence used. You got to think a Rat ult could have been nice for that purple buff invade. Maybe if Vote had some backup there, he could have dove tower and got for Quig, and vice versa. Hurrywind could have also made it through, but you set yourself in, dude. These mid laners, they just want farm, man. They're just so selfish.
What they care about is farm. And to be honest, they've seen a little bit more time of this farm because the focus is towards the left and right side of the map, which means they just get to sit in mid, clear the wave, and go, cool, I'll just keep buying items. And that really plays well into the Morrigan and Giannis' hands.
That is true. I mean, safe farm is the key, right? As long as you're able to get in, get out, which the stealth from the Morrigan and the movement speed and the portals from Giannis both are going to help out a ton. So I guess they don't have to get involved considering the game's relatively even, but it would make things more interesting.
100%. Gamma under a bit of pressure here, but has Hurrywin now rotating over just to throw a bit of damage and push them back. Has to pull away himself. You can see Streak Up in the jungle starting to sneak around, but Davey versus a Raw again, round 52. And Davey definitely sensed Preds was around here. Last time Preds used the window, well this time he'll just walk through the open door. Preds with another kill onto Davey, and the unstable Vortex starting to find a lot of win on the right-hand side.
Yeah, I'm going to guess Davey had no idea that Preds was there because he started fake backing. He was sort of like taunting Aurora, like, really, you ulted that, bro? He's like, yeah, to get your dart down, now we can dive you for free. And Preds is sitting 3-0.
Hurrywind, I don't think he saw Cyclone spin. He's not looking at his minimap so well. He'll know about it now as he gets silenced. No panic, though, at a Hurrywind there in that situation. Just pulls through the wall back to the safety of his tier 1 tower. Gives the vision and gives the knowledge that Cyclone was hunting, but there's nothing up. Speaking of something up, the blue buff's up and Davey's back over. So Preds is back over here again, looking to steal that away. This time, though, not so successful. But maybe he gets punished for this, Preds.
Definitely should with the rotation from Streak Up. Doesn't even need to ult thanks to Davey through the Cosmos lands. And you can't use overhead kick to steal a buff without getting punished in this one. Preds goes down, and that's a huge shutdown. Streak Up, happy he got involved.
Yeah, definitely. Now there's an invade onto this right-hand side with the blue buff too. And a pinned by the minions into the wall too. He'll slip the noose for now, but the tower won't keep him alive long enough. Davey credited with a kill. Now Gamma in the jungle, surrounded by 2. Going to get ulted, but a great portal out of Hurrywind gives enough separation to separate his support from certain death, in my opinion, in that situation. Much more active than game 1.
Certainly is. Gamma holds on to Watery Grave. Smart call. I think he trusted Hurrywind to portal him out, so didn't have to use the CC immunity. Was able to get through. But again, Streak Up does all that without ulting. I mean, he makes the rotation kills Preds. He tries to go in on the Gamma, but holds on to it. He's a mid laner that wants to make sure he has that transformation if he needs to use it defensively. The Morgan can be a sitting duck when it comes to dives from Robin and Pele if he doesn't have that transformation. Despite the fact that I don't think anyone's tried to kill him so far, he wants to, make sure he's got that ultimate available.
Yeah. Left-hand side, Barra trying to get the shield up, but he's a bit worried about ganks, and as soon as he steps back up, the gank is there. Gamma just hits his zone, make sure the shield goes over towards Quig, and Barra's like, man, where's my support right now? It's their fault. Cyclone, what are you doing, dude? I should be getting all this far.
If I learned anything from listening into Unstable Vortex and NBKs, it seems to me like Cyclone does not want to rotate if he doesn't have to. Anyway, he does not want to sit in duo lane. He would like to just stick around and farm and be annoying, much like Gamma's doing right now.
Well, Vote's under a bit of pressure. Dashes away, but dashes into the clutches of Preds and Hurrywind, who are waiting for it through space and time, connecting. Cyclone and Vote very, very low, but still boxing away as Preds tries to juke out Streak Up. Vote's doing the same thing against Quig, but the chase down from Quig is good, and Vote will fall down to Hurrywind for his first kill. Meanwhile, on the right-hand side, Davey's scrapping with Aurora again. Just the one pick on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Streak Up finally did use that ultimate, had to use it aggressively to try and chase down Preds, but did not have the damage as the Robin versus Robin. And of course, Vote was just very deep there. Interesting positioning for the Bacchusura. I guess thought the team was going to be following up. It seemed like Cyclone wanted to die, but just could not close gap that far, and because of that, ends up going down. Oh, just spawns back in, and the Beacon fight could be coming soon.
Well, you know what? With the Beacon fight coming up, let's have a listen into the Unstable Vortex and see how they're feeling about this opportunity.
I'm gonna base wreck him.
Yeah, I can just go right.
Yeah, I can be there. I'll be there late for Beacon.
I'm gonna farm right again.
I don't have blink.
They're waiting for green, I think.
Yeah, just get the pressure.
Are you guys down for a roll to come over and I just farm right?
Yeah, I blink. Brad's not gonna be there either. I'm really strong for this fight too.
I'm coming late as well.
I think it's free. The Mori hasn't backed.
Rat's just back in right now. I can't
Oh, Jin's here.
I'm coming.
I'm coming now.
Rat just back. Rat just back, by the way.
I'm grabbing green and I'm coming in.
I have all.
Do you wanna?
I can ward your flank,
Rat's here.
Rat
Just
is
going
here.
on the carries.
I'll
Yeah,
take the carries.
Rat's stunned down.
I hit both carries.
They're really low.
Ratna's stunned back here.
I'm on the beacon.
Yeah.
That's his dash.
I'm on the beacon.
Yeah. Oh, good try.
He's gonna go right.
Oh, nice.
Oh, let's go, baby. That's a little bit of poke for me.
I get right to you.
Did Jingwei reset? Did Jingwei reset?
Yeah, we don't see her.
There's a ward here.
I'm gonna go farm.
I'm coming right, Preds. I'm coming
These oracles are spawning or whatever.
I'm not gonna be there, farm. Fuck that.
Okay.
I'm just gonna drop speed and red.
Nice poke. You just do my blue. Okay.
Yeah, I'm dropping it.
Just do my blue. Just do my blue.
Apologies for Tyler fans out there and his dirty mouth that we heard towards the end of that one. But more importantly, Aro's like, so who are we going on? And then he goes in, was the most interesting thing. Secondly, was Quig and the boys cheering for him hitting the ultimate.
Get you a team as support of his Unstable Vortex. Quig missed both shots. They all held their breath. He hits one. They go, nice. He's like, got some poke for me, boys. So, hey, if that's all it takes for the Unstable to be happy, I think this is a very supportive
He's
team.
above Bacchusura now. He's above the Morrigan, Jingwei, and the Amaterasu. Quig's flinging damage out here.
That's what that one shot provided, and I do think Hercules goes massive in that fight, by the way. Double hit with the ultimate right through the beacon wall into the Unstable. Barra almost got one shot there, had to full-on retreat. Because of that, easy beacon coverage there for Unstable, but I love the rotation in as well. I mean, Aurora called out the rotation every step of the way. They knew Rat was coming, but now NBKs with the Amaterasu passive pop the girdle, and they're going in on the Fury.
Reds knows this is going on though. He's already stood here watching it, but what can he really do on his own other than trying to force a reset? And he does so just by standing there. Great situational opportunity for Unstable Vortex, I guess. More worried, I guess, Giannis ultimate, Chiron ultimate, right? They could always come through like a train and cause some problems, so forcing back the NBKs who were trying to sneak an objective.
Yep, seemed like the burst from Robin, as well as you said, the range was too much for the NBKs. They're going to waste their relic, but they'd rather waste a relic than 50-50 the Gold Fury and lose it. Wow. I thought Hurry might have been teleporting in to try and go in for the Pyromancer pull there, but Gamma didn't feel confident enough, and there was not really too much DPS nearby. So that's going to be the end of the scrapping for now. But keep your eyes on the mid lane. That does seem to be where the fighting is going to break out for the time being. That Gold Fury is still a prime target to be looked at. If we're looking at the strength of these squads so far, it really does seem like Barracuda needs some more itemization, whereas Quig, if he does hit his abilities, he'll be swinging.
That's mainly because of these ability-based versus auto-attack base, right? More than anything else. You need a couple more items to really get to the, well, crit way, I guess. Do you expect crit to see in this Jingwei build?
I'm thinking one crit item and then Ornate Arrow. That's probably your best option, and then he's going to say, hey, Kuzumbo popped his shells on me, like, get him away from me. You know, if Bear's hitting Gamma, he's probably having a rough time.
Definitely true. So just keep an eye on the Gamma versus Jingwei match as this continues. So far, though, Cyclone been around the map a lot. Not managed to get involved in a kill just yet, though. He's giving mobility to his team, but in mid lane, Blink from Gamma there, pushing a teammate in for the ultimate coming through from Hurrywind. They won't find a kill here. Cyclone uses a lot, and now Vote is here. Aurora can be under a lot of pressure as Vote and Davey turn up to take down his life. Kuzumbo a little overextended, did have his ultimate up though to zone them away, and it's a 1-for-0 exchange in mid.
And that's a beautiful ult from Davey. Really did seem like the Unstable Vortex has made the quicker rotation, but the Rattle makes sure to save and also peel, but the Unstable Vortex still going for a pull onto Pyro, but all it took was Davey stepping forward to put an end to that one. And Quig, you know there's a rat behind you?
Yeah, I don't think the comms were really there, but Davey didn't go in for that at all, but Quig did use his beads a little bit late to avoid the Gust knockup. Guess a little bit worried about the acorns coming through from Davey there, but NBKs now have pressure around this Pyromancer.
Yeah, they're going for the pull. It's only up to Hurrywin to try and go for a steal here. He doesn't have his ult or beads, but one unstable Vortex is a lot of burst.
It is, and they're just going to burst it down and force a reset. Won't happen this time. They did reset it as Hurrywin now limps away. Preds in the back looking for a steal, won't find it as he goes for the up-down, but now he's going to get all in too, so buying as much time as he can.
Oh, the juke!
Out! No, but poor Hurrywin! He juked it, but he sent Hurrywin to his death because they just collapsed onto his mid laner. Now the Pyromancer being dead, Davey trying to get back out of the fight. Cyclone's there for some support. Gamma wants to keep this going as there's a roar, and Davey pinned into the corner by the Nene Kappa and forces the ult out of the solo laner.
Wow, that was a clutch ultimate there. Came back up just in time for Davey to get out of dodge, and of course, Hurrywin in the wrong place at the wrong time. Preds jukes his mid laner to death. Or maybe that was the target all along. All the while, Quig cancels his giddy up immediately. Vote. Not doing enough damage, though. It does seem like Quig's going to be able to run away for free after that ultimate goes down.
Just out of range the whole time there for Vote, was trying to make the play happen. And with that, it's just a Gold Fury up. Gold situation, 200 gold, 300 at tops for the NBKs here. Experience-wise, slightly in their favor too. Anyone's game. Starter Relics, well, sorry, Starter Relics, not really time to upgrade them just yet. As Aurora's trying to, well, not proxy, but very deep in enemy territory on his own. He does have a Hurrywin, obviously, in the mid lane on this Giannis that could always ult across, but he just manages to limp away, does cost him an ultimate.
Yeah, Beacon does spawn in here, already unstable, is ready for the cap.
Let's have a little listening then to the NBKs and see how they're getting on.
You guys drums again?
Yep.
Okay, I can't 1v1 this Ravana yet. There's defense.
Yeah, that's fine. You should just play like, you should play super ratty.
You should get a Phalanx as well, by the way. Phalanx will
3 mid.
make you unkillable.
Rama walking left jungle.
Wait, I want to get these oracles, by the way.
Rama's still here.
Kyrmi, right?
They're gonna group for oracles, like 3 man. Ravana's here as well.
Robin's in front of me. Robin's in front of me.
Yeah. I have a mid wave here.
Can someone help me with this ward?
I can come up your way. I have ult in 2. I'm here.
Pele went to left jungle.
There's been a push.
Pele back.
They got it. They got it.
Pele could TP in.
Kyrmi top side.
Right tower.
I'm gonna get one more wave and then back.
Two mid.
Care of Pele TP right now, boys, yeah?
Okay.
Let me get one more wave and then back.
Okay.
Janasol.
Yeah,
Care mid, care mid. They might dive, you guys.
Pele has no ult.
She'll have it soon.
3 mid. Kuzuma's right here.
Right there,
You'll see him rotating.
we're playing right.
Pele's going left.
Rob's
Pele's
low,
going left.
Rob low. They saw me dash, they saw me dash.
We have Janet. We can Janasol too as well.
I'm away.
I farm Kyrmi,
I'm here, I'm almost there.
Kyrmi dash,
I'm ulting Kyrmi maybe.
Okay. Kyrmi no dash. I got slowed.
You're gonna get pushed through.
Yeah, slow.
No, this is ours. They have no Janasol. You wanna dive just for now?
Let's Kyrmi.
I'm getting pushed.
They're gonna go in.
I silenced. I frenzied.
Kind of body blocking around.
I'm ulting up.
Ravana ulted in. We're good. I'm good.
I'm coming back.
I'm ulting.
Pele soon.
Yeah, Pele bang.
Coming on base.
Beads on Janice.
I'm body blocking. You're good.
You're speed up.
I'm low.
Janice, no, Chiron, no beads.
Coming out of base.
I look dead as fuck, but not really. I'm dead as fuck.
No.
Janice, no beads.
I'm fresh out of base, I'm very stronger.
Yeah. Pele no.
Pele's one.
Well, the fight's still going on here between the two, and it looks like Gamma's going to fall down. We did already see the life of Cyclone claimed as he was dead as Blank, but now Barracuda's dead as... And he also ended up causing so many problems because he came back from base going, I am big and ready now, but the unstable Vortex turned it around for a 2-for-1 and an extended engagement there. NBKs felt kind of confident about that, and it kind of went to the wayside. Trevor, what did you see?
I mean, I didn't believe Cyclone for a second when he said he looked dead, but he isn't. He looked very dead to me. And then Streak Up's clone actually body blocks Barra to death. It seemed like he was probably going down regardless, but the Morgan clone keeping you in place, not the best look. And it really does seem like Hurrywin's movement as well as how much damage he has been a problem. Davey recognizes it and immediately dunks onto him. Doesn't get much for it, though.
Yeah, crazy little skirmish, though, on the left-hand side, which was kind of setting up for a goal for you, but the Pyromancer is spawning again. You can see these teams starting to prioritize Pyromancer a little bit more than a Goal Fury these days. Those bombs do make a situational strategic, advantage on the map a lot more.
Yeah, not so much for confirmation all the time, but definitely for just destroying structures, right? Tower, Phoenix, both going to be an issue. Hurrywin does use the ultimate to get here faster, brings the whole squad towards the Pyro, and it's only Davey or Cyclone who can really go in for a steal.
Yeah, I think with Barracuda's relics both being burnt in that last fight, he didn't feel good about being over here, so wanted to continue farming. So now with that, the 5-man advantage just gives Unstable Vortex that Pyromancer at this stage of the game. Hoping Unstable Vortex still march on in this, we go to a third game then, it's anyone's. is a best of 3 and we get to see more gods in the god pool of all these players.
Yeah, would be nice, because we've seen Barra on Xbalanque and X-Ball.
Such a boring human being.
And Jingwei, like that is it. That has been the god pool so far. Nothing new. He just wants to get the job done so far. As you said, relics are down, so he was just AFK split pushing. Should actually be able to grab that tier 1 tower over on left. The archers will do his dirty work, so that helps a little bit, trying to ease up the farm discrepancy there that Quig has been able to grab thanks to his 1 kill and 2 assists from some of these rotations that Quig has been making. But if you're Jingwei, you want to upgrade that starter, you want to get some crit online. Wouldn't be surprised if Bear just stays over left until level 20 comes around.
We'll see if that ends up playing out as well. Keeping an eye on Horrorwind as well in this build in mid. How do you feel about this build? Lifesteal builds, are they back?
Lifesteal builds are alright. I do like the Typhon's Fang change. It helps out, especially if you just want to tech in like a Bancrofts or a Polynomicon, something like that. But because Giannis gets the free pen now from his ultimate, you don't really want Charon's Coin or Obsidian Shard anymore. You want an item that's going to give you more stats than just pen, and that's what Typhon's brings.
Bit of everything, basically, to help out. Well, the beacon's spawning soon. You can see everyone's starting to group around that area, but left-hand side, Davey is currently hunting Quig from the solo lane, and Vote has now gone over to deal with Aurora's pushing of the right-hand side. He's going to actually take a trade between the two, as Gamma has to deal with 2 in mid, looking towards Davey, who was caught on this left-hand side now. But the dance of the Gold Fury is going to be really in. Pred blinks on streak up in mid, gets some good damage out on him, but the up-down avoid. Oh, space and time counted as Quig was there too. They really wanted to kill on that Morrigan.
I don't think Shrika meant to transform into Giannis. I can't imagine a day where you're getting dove by Robin and your play is to fire back with an Unstable Vortex. It just wouldn't do enough damage, but Unstable Vortex themselves are diving this tower. They're not afraid anymore. With the Morrigan gone, they've got the numbers advantage. Why not go for the Gold Fury?
And now they're going to get the beacon too, as Preds is now on this right-hand side. Having used his ultimate in the mid lane, tries to do some split pushing, but he may end up getting collapsed on by this. Aurora's having a bit of support. He sees the dash used by Vote, but he's zoned away by Davey and Cyclone spin on this right-hand side of the map. Still, Pred's under a lot of pressure. This tier 1 tower is relatively low health too, so they're really committing the beads and everything to bring him down. Preds avoids the stun and the knock-up, and Aurora using a good use of his ability. Support plays again out of the solo laner. Gold Fury under threat.
Yeah, it seems like Bear tried to step up, could not defend thanks to some good peel from Hurrywind. Bear's home support, gonna make sure he doesn't step in for the steal, and Preds is still around despite taking so much damage, despite already using his ultimate. He is going to be just fine, just loses the beads, and all the while the NBKs have to back up. I'm surprised. Vote with the movement speed he has, he caught out Preds at the tier 2 tower with no ultimate and was not able to run him down despite using Regurgitate.
Yeah, it was actually crazy to see. I think Aurora's little bit of peel there for a moment or two with that knock-up came into play quite big to hit all 3 and just give him a tiny bit of separation, allow those cooldowns to come up once again. But as you said, 3 members running him down just opened the map. They didn't even get any farm out of that either because he kept farming the jungle as he went.
Davey is deep in the backline though. Gamma might think he's out. Good stun will confirm it, but the shell spike should be enough, and a beautiful hold from Hurrywind gets him out.
Oh, Gamma going to use that portal to his advantage, but what is going to happen to Vote now? Quig trading with Streak up in the backline as Hurrywind goes in too. Vote is out of the fray as Aurora trades with Davey. No kills coming there. Everybody survives for now as the Titans have begun battle in the mid lane.
Yeah, the NBKs need to get back, get healthy, and go to mid lane. They're going to lose a tier 2 tower. Unstable Vortex is here grouped up, and they would love to push in with their Titans, but it's only Aurora who seems to be stepping forward for now. The rest of the squad comes too, and again, NBKs need to be on the defensive here. They want to kill this Titan and get out.
Aurora's looking to streak up in the back, so is Quig with the ultimate too. The goat sign is for the Morrigan, but the Morrigan's still alive as the up-down comes through from Pred to secure the kill. Next up, Davey to the sky, looking for the backside, trying to find the low health Aurora potentially. Gamma still diving in, and Gamma going to get focused on as he's overextended a little bit too much for his carries to follow up and give him support, but the Titans fall in mid. And it's a 1-for-1 support for mid laner. Unstable Vortex come out on top for now.
Aurora teleports in though. Wonder for what? Just a stall while the team goes for Pyromancer. Wow. Seems to be the case. Barracuda does not like the trade that Aurora has brought because he was able to finish that sigil, which means he's even tankier. There's plenty of damage that Arc Druids make sure that he gets that extra damage online with his auto attacks. Man, this build looks very annoying for a carry to try and deal with.
Yeah, the Aurora build as well, specifically the Contagion and Druids.
Yep.
Like, I just like the idea of the auto attacks swinging, but also a bit of defense in there with that sigil that you're talking about, now completed. Is Sigil really that good, Trelly? Is that what it is now? Is that the meta we're in?
Unfortunately, it is the meta we're in.
You sound very upset about it.
It's not fun. If you see Barra, just watch Barra trade. And Aurora's building into what I believe will be a Spectral. So just so it hasn't even been completed yet. Watch Barra try and trade with Aurora. It is not a fun time, and that's how Aurora has been running down, right? He hasn't been looking for Shriek Up. That seems to be the call. Shriek Up goes down first, but immediately after, he goes to the backline and says, "Where's Jingwei?" And Barra has to run.
Vote in mid lane, a bit overextended here. He's going to get wrapped around the back, but a quick up down will get him away from the danger. As the unstable Vortex weren't sure where the rest of the NBKs were there, so didn't want to commit too much. With both the Gold Fury and Pyromancer being down now, though, attention just turns towards the FG, and I don't think we're going to see an FG. I think the first one we'll see is an EFG.
Yeah, that would not surprise me, considering that Unstable has all the pressure in the world, and they don't do very well at pulling a Fire Giant, considering that, you know, Quig has got very little auto attack damage, and Hurrywind doesn't provide that burn, he provides that burst. Because of that, they can set up, they can bait for sure, but this is the issue though, the NBKs, they know. Yeah, they can go for fire, it's going to take a while, but if you step up too far, there becomes a Giannis ultimate, brings the whole team behind you, and you're out of position. Yeah,
and you can see Barracuda trying to abuse this factor of farming up this left-hand side a little bit more, trying to complete his final couple of items. Vote, though, a bit overextended here. Gets the ult out of Hurrywind, though, who didn't like the damage he got back. Vote jumps over the wall, back towards his teammate in Cyclone, and blinks away to safety. Aurora still giving chase, though, wants to kill onto Vote, knowing he's low, and Aurora will secure it for his team. Unstable Vortex is great. I love that. Towards Cyclone spin as Davey and Barracuda split push. You dirty carry players. That's all I'm going to say.
I mean, it is a dirty strat, but there's a reason it works, because there's not enough damage on the side of Unstable to pull Fire Giant. They know that. I'm sure it was Cyclone who called it out. Don't rotate. Don't come here. They're not getting anything done. Quig, what are you doing so far up?
Well, they're trying to get aggressive towards Streaker, because look at where Preds was. He paffed all the way around the back. But I don't think Preds wanted what he got, which was the Pele on Streak Up all the while. Davey got hold of Quig, who was paffing back to help out his team or try and survive. Now Preds is in against 4 of them. Make that 5. A dead Preds, a double kill for Davey. And now the Fire Giant could be on the cards for NBKs.
Yep, all the while, you can see Pele on the left side of the map. That means Aurora's not going to be able to get active. It's all on Hurrywind to try and stop this Fire Giant. Or I guess Gamma to use his disruption, maybe slow down this push.
Yeah, let's have a listen to the Unstable Vortex then and see how they're going to handle this FG situation.
Fine. They've pulled fire.
They pulled it now.
Yeah.
Bacchus and mid.
Vision dashed on it.
Let them do it for a little bit.
It's 9%.
You just chill.
More stealth. More stealth somewhere.
60.
I have ult. I'm going to try to get behind them over here.
50%.
Are we playing for steal?
Yeah, we can.
I'm going to ult the Jingwei.
Yeah, I'm trying to push her into the wall.
Nice.
1 HP.
I ulted Mori too.
10%.
I can push Mori maybe?
She's right here. Found her.
Nice.
Got her.
Look for armor. Armor or bucket.
I have
Bacchus slow.
Right behind you guys. Right behind you guys. Ult.
I can slow
Got him
him.
in combat.
Oh.
That's all I got. That's his beads.
Okay.
I'm just gonna push mid and go gold. Can we go gold here?
Let's go gold. I'm coming.
We can also get Pyro maybe.
Yeah, we can probably get both. They're dead for a while. We can get both.
Red.
That was Jingwei beads at the start of that fight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Really good job, Gamma. That was sick.
Yeah, we womboed him. Right in that Giannis ult.
Almost mid.
I could have played just steal instead. Maybe that was better, but...
I think this is good.
It's good. I think it doesn't matter.
Jin was going to fly in.
Well, I mean, they said it at the tail end of the comms there, Trelly. We womboed him. Poor old Barracuda. There's nothing you can do there.
He had Aegis. There was something he could have done.
From behind, though, dude. Like, the Giannis ult came from the
With how many Giannis ults Bear's been hit by in his lifetime, you'd think he'd have at least, like, the sound cue down, where it's like, okay, I'm going to Aegis even if I hear a Giannis ult. Even if it's off the mark entirely, better use it. In this case, Unstable Vortex gets the Primal Fear. They would also love to grab this Pyromancer, but Davey, and there comes another ultimate, still through the double Unstable, they are able to grab it.
But the Fire Giant's still around 3 members of NBK's waist, and they're looking for Gamma in the mid lane now, who's been focused on. The Giannis ult comes through, but it only gets people out of danger rather than dealing damage. Aurora's in this looking for Daisy, but Aurora's going to watch his health bar too. Vote, meanwhile, did pick up the scraps of Gamma in the jungle, and 5 strong for NBKs here, starting to march down mid lane. You can see Vote in the jungle just hanging around. Quick stepped up way too far on his own here. Gotta be careful, dashes away. Barra dashing on in, looking for kills, won't find it. Ults away to safety. Still, 5 strong in mid.
Yeah, you could tell Barracuda went back and got that dominance online. He is absolutely swinging on just about everyone. Phoenix is the play, but here comes Aurora, and he's doing a big bit of damage.
Yeah, he's going to find the kill on Barracuda, but go down in trade. Then Preds jumps in, looking for the pick on Streak Up. Damage out from Chiron on the back is good, but it's not enough for a kill. Horrywind's there for clean up on Vote. However, the middle Phoenix is going to stand, and Quick versus Davy's still going on. Davy needs to get out of dodge soon. He's looking for a kill at least before he looks for an escape route, which is Horrywind, and Davy realizes the only way out of this is to probably box till his cooldowns are up. The dash is there, but a blink from Preds shuts down Davy, and we're all sitting around doing nothing for a minute because no one's alive to do anything.
Yep, the Phoenixes didn't go down. NBKs finally found a way to go in, despite the fact that Horrywin has been on point with these ultimates, getting people in, putting people out, that sort of thing. I mean, Aurora teleports in while Gamma teleports out. Luckily, Vote was able to pick up that kill at the very least, but considering how poor the start of that Fire Giant siege went, I'm amazed that the NBKs were even able to grab the tier 2 tower. Just seems that the engage from the unstable Vortex, Gamma has been so disruptive in the backline. It was just that big power spike where Barra came back, he finished dominance, and he's actually doing things now. With the Ornate Arrow as well, he should be getting close to critting just about every auto, assuming that he's got some gold in his pocket.
Well, when we heard the unstable Vortex talk, I will say their comms are kind of calm for the most part on their side. NBKs seem a little bit more erratic, a little bit more urgent, whereas Vortex like, yeah, we're chilling, you know. Great job on that, by the way. Good job, teammate. It's an interesting tale of like what the roles kind of you expect from them.
I mean, Hurry had enough time to like critically think and think, maybe I should have went for the steal, guys. You know, like let's slow down and be like, what should I should have done 5 minutes ago? And Aura's like, dude, who cares? Like, you did fine.
Coming out here from unstable Vortex, they set a trap to try and find someone going for the shield. They find the Bacchus, not the prime target. But look at the damage. The leap is already down. They double ultimate too, and they will find the kill on Vote, shutting down the shield buff. And now in the jungle goes Gamma and Hurry, looking to help the pressure down the left-hand side.
Yep, seems like backing up is the call. Streak Up knows there's going to be at least a few members of Unstable near him, so he goes underneath his tower. All the while, Vote, he's going to be down for 45 more seconds. That'll last out the rest of this Fire Giant. Cyclone Spin was the only one with the buff, and it just ran out. Question is, does Unstable want to go for one more play? Aurora's here, and Shriek Up would have the ultimate to bring the whole team through space and time, but don't want to go for a risky call like that one. It would probably take a solid 15 seconds to even kill Aurora, so I like the play. Just a reset. But Enhanced Fire Giant, Hindu, that's still the call here. Seems to be what they're going for eventually. Until then, just going to be more farming.
Well, I guess we should probably have a listen to NBKs next, considering they're the ones about to probably have to come back on the defense again now, as Unstable Vortex have started to get wind in their sails. Let's have a listen in then to the NBKs.
Can we try and get a ward like round 2, maybe?
Yeah.
That'll be good for me.
If we can start the fight on the Janus, that'd be sick. If not, it's fine.
I can dash and go on him, but I'll be leaving you.
Pele went into the jungle.
Yeah.
They have wards in our jungle right now, so they might have a TP.
Pele went on the jungle.
Don't see anyone.
I'm warding left side.
I can bracer. Where do you want bracer?
Probably bottom side fire. Unless we're trying to like go for flanks like this way.
Janus is lane. Janus is in lane. Janus is in lane.
Yeah, he just portaled.
I'm gonna push one more right wave and then I can.
I'll send you Pyro.
Pele missing, boys, yeah?
I'm not on pyro right now.
Pele is missing. You wanna do pyro fast?
Yeah, I'm coming.
Yeah, Janus just 2. Janus just 2.
Wave. I'm just pushing up more waves.
I don't see anyone mid.
Just me and Niran have it on this. They're here.
You guys good if I push another wave, yeah?
Got it.
They're being super annoying. Super annoying for them.
Out of south.
We don't see any. I don't see.
Pele right.
Yeah, if they leave fire, it's fine.
We don't see Chiron. They can't do fire at all.
Pele right. I'm fine.
Do you want me just to look for an engage on them and try to find Janus or what? So you guys can get in or what?
Yeah.
They're right there.
How good is your engage?
I'm literally just dashing Janus. They're in front of me.
Can we chill for a bit?
They're over here.
Pele right.
Can I back and forward?
Yeah. Kuzuba's looking to blink right now. They can't do fire ever. They know you're backing. They have a ward right here.
They might leash with Pele, but it's fine.
They have a normal here. They're not on it. Janus is in front of us.
Yeah, I'm just getting more ornate stacks. This is fine.
Janus portaled mid.
Pele just going for another wave, by the way.
Okay.
Janus portaled mid. Janus is top left. I'm gonna walk in.
I'm backing.
They're not on it yet.
Pele on this wave, you see.
You see Chiron. They have a ward back here. Janus is in front of me. Kuzuma's in front of me. Janus portaled mid. Maybe we have someone just play this jungle for Janus portals and mid. We just go on him.
I could.
Kuzuma's in front of me. You see
Pele could be TPing in.
My bracer's up to treat this.
Pele could be TPing in right now. Only Fury's up as well, by the way.
Yeah, maybe Vote goes and sneaks it.
Yeah.
With Davy.
Yeah. I mean, we're not worried about them pulling fire at all.
This mid wave, then I'll proxy.
They're under. They're over here. They might push left.
Okay.
We see Janus, Chiron, Kuzin, but we don't see Ravin, Pele. Might be a 2v2. We see Kuzin, no eyes on Ravin or Pele.
Yeah,
Janus just backed, Janus just backed, Janus just backed.
Be a little cover right
We're
side.
pulling it, we're pulling. Just get yourself out. If they come vote, I'll just ult. Yeah, Pele's here, we just
Yeah, you guys can just chill then. Janus can ult. She might try to finish it. I'm gonna sentry, I'm gonna bracer this. Actually,
Okay.
I might look for an ult in this Kyrmi maybe.
It might just be Pele right side. Pele and Janus.
Okay.
Yeah. Janus is from base. Janus is from base.
Rama's on the left.
Chiron's mid. Chiron's right here. I'm
I've started
bracering
one,
this shit.
Janus behind me, I'm fine.
Pele's in right.
Raven's here.
Rama's just in
Do I just go on
behind us.
Robin?
I'll go back to
I'm going on Robin. He's behind us.
Yeah,
He's under us.
You can.
4 seconds.
Kyrmi ult.
That's
He's
it,
gonna full dive Barrett.
Well, we finally got to action just as we got the comms back too, and it's going to be a fight on towards, well, Streak Up at first, and Streak Up's going to die. The pick attack was towards Preds there, and the comms was all about trying to go for objectives, and instead, the unstable Vortex is going to find 2 quick kills in the jungle. They were talking about their ideas of trying to get the Oni Fury, worried about Giannis' positioning, but it didn't pay off anyway. They lose 2 lives.
Yeah, but now Fire Giant gets started. The NBKs weren't worried about this at first. They should definitely be worried now. Davey gonna go wrap around from behind, and it's only Barra walking up towards the objective, essentially by himself. How much can you really do 3v5?
Above half health, just about. Davey gonna get double stun, but it was mainly on tags. They did get a beat out quick there, and Vogue gonna ult onto Gamma too. Barracuda getting zoned away the whole time though by Preds, and now with Aurora joining in, Barra's in a world of hurt. Won't have his ultimate available to even hit because he got not killed, I should say, before the ultimate could even go off. Quig now, low on health. It's Davey surrounded. All 5 members of the unstable Vortex alive for a second.
No.
Does he live? Give him the shot.
He gets it.
He gets those. Look at Aurora getting excited about that too. That should be a tier 2 tower on the right hand side potentially, or the Fire Giant, whichever they choose to do here, Charlie.
Yeah, they gotta decide. Looks like the back is the play.
Quick's
Streak
too
Up
low,
could
yeah.
always transform into Giannis though, and I think that's the reason you back up, get full HP, and then come to. Streak Up needs to have whatever defensive character he's gonna switch to get out needs to be hotkey, because it's been a few times where he gets gone on by Preds and he transforms into Preds and tries to 1v1 him. It's never going to work if you get gone on first. You're the same character, just weaker. So if he's going to transform into Hurrywin, if he's going to transform into Aurora, he's got to do it quickly and get out.
Gamma's not a bad pick either. Like going for the Kuzenbo here, just create a bit of separation for a moment or two. Fire Giant started up then by Sable Vortex. Cyclone spin, only on him. Streak Up sneaking through the jungle to get in range. Fire Giant down to half health again. Keep an eye on Streak Up for the steal, and Cyclone for the vision is the big play here. Jingwei on the way back from base 2. Looks like Vortex are kind of stalling this out a little bit, trying to work out where Streak Up is. Now they're going for a potential all-in commit, but it's taken a long time for them to secure it. Vortex get the Fire Giant. Cyclone very low and dead. Space and time nearly hits Streak Up in the back. Not to be the case. Barracuda dead. Double kill for a Hurrywin. We could be looking at a game 3 with the Fire Giant, EFG I should say, on all 5 members of Unstable Vortex.
Yeah, once again, just seemed like there was not a clear play to go for there. I mean, you see that Cyclone goes forward. He wants to go for the Fire Giant steal. Streak Up standing by, but he never transforms until it was essentially too late. All the while, Barra and Cyclone go down because they thought they could go in for the EFG. Does not end up working out, and Unstable Vortex have a great siege going in the mid lane. They've got
No
EFG
minions,
on
though.
5.
Yeah. No minions, and Davies kind of hanging around behind. Let's listen into Unstable Vortex though and see how they feel about ending this game.
That's fine.
Let's go gold after.
We should go left.
Yeah, sure, we
can
can
go
left.
left.
Yeah,
We have
sure,
20.
sure,
We have
sure.
20.
Sure,
I think we just get T2 and gold and then reset, I think.
They're gonna be up, I think. I don't want to throw
Yeah, they
here.
will be.
Yeah, they could Giannis ult us on gold or something.
Let's just do
I don't think they will. They'd have like literally no vision. There's no way.
I want proc camp really bad. I have 3k pot too.
Yeah, I got double 3k if I back here. I'm just gonna get another. Yeah, I'll get double.
I'm trying taking this fucked up day.
The rat's here, by the
They
way.
could slow chase us. Beware. I'll secure this.
Okay.
They're not here.
Alright.
Pyro's
Okay,
up.
reset. I have a 3K.
I can stay
Yeah,
for
I have-
Pyro.
Yeah,
This guy's
I
trolling my
can
back.
ult
He's
out of
trolling back.
base.
He's
Yeah,
trolling back.
you
He's
guys
trolling
back if you need and go with Janusol for Pyro. We should.
This guy's gonna troll my back.
Oh, well, they're on it.
Oh, they're on it already. I thought that ward saw
Yeah.
it.
Can we fight left?
I have a 3. Yeah, this guy. If this guy comes back in, we kill him.
We should just get resets and then go Phoenix.
Sure.
We have
I can't-
EFG for
I can,
130, so
Yeah.
I grab red.
If we're gonna fight, we may as well like fight at the
Can we just push? Can we just run it down left here?
Yeah, let's run
Let
it
me
down
reset.
right
Let me
now.
reset. I have a 3K. I have a 3K.
Bear's splitting right. Should I go kill him?
Dude, this guy's.
This
This
I
guy
have
did.
TP hurry if you bring a ward. If you want.
I'm gonna go kill him.
There's only fire wave.
I think he's still able.
If you want to ward in mid Gamma too, I could TP if someone shows up.
I think Mori and Baka are coming to the only fire wave. I warded in green.
Okay, yeah, that's fine.
I'm kind of around you, Gamma.
Man, Davey's a nuisance, isn't he?
I love that. At the very least, we got verbal proof that being annoying and stopping someone's back does get to them.
Yeah.
Quick's like, can we kill him? Can we walk up? Can we do something?
I'll say we was the NBKs listening that we did a little bit earlier as well was the funniest one for me because Barrett, we go live with it and Barrett goes, can we try and get on Giannis maybe like at the start of the fight so he can't do what he's doing? But now, Unstable Vortex looking to even us up at a 1-1 in this best of 3 series against NBKs. The Phoenix already down to low and below, almost below half. You can see the backup coming through and the dunk in from Cyclone coming as well as Davey. Davey forcing back quick, who's trying to live. Meanwhile, on the backside, the Streak Up's going in on Hurrywind. The carries of the Vortex are in tatters, but they're just barely alive. Hurry's still alive as Preds gets older. Vote, but the 3 members stronger holding. The left-hand Phoenix falls down to Preds. On the back of that, so 2 Phoenixes down. But with Quig dead and Aurora dead, there's a chance here for NBKs to do something. Problem is, it's tanky targets they're having to deal with.
Yeah, Preds is still around, though, and he does a lot of damage. Who's going to go on is the question. It looks like he leads with the overhead kick. Not the best option, but still doing some good damage.
Yeah, they're trying to run it Streak Up, the 2 tanks, but now Pred's going to fall down to Streak Up. Gamma looking to try to get at least a kill at the tail end of this. The Streak Up jukes around. Hurrywind is here. Doesn't have his ultimate available, though, for through space and time. And so Gamma falls, Hurry respawns. But
Hurry's here.
Damage is done to the base. You reckon he goes for kills?
Oh, yeah. Let's see if he can hit it. Streak Up's got to find the juke. He's got the ult, though. Straight play. Not enough damage. Does he go back in, though? He's got Pridwin shield.
He should have.
Oh, he was too scared. And here comes Davey as well. I'm definitely going in there, but Hurry probably would have styled on him. I can't lie.
Well, he's going to back here, Davey. We're not going to find it. Oh, Hurry would have got the back off there, but he's a little bit worried about the dash being available. Portals through the wall into the danger zone here. Chases on his now. Cyclone spin round the corner, too. Hurry going to get stunned in place. Goes for the portal. Congratulations! Oh. Cyclone was waiting.
2 Phoenixes down. You get the shutdown on a Hurrywind, who is, I would argue, the biggest threat on Unstable Vortex. EFG completely gone off the map from all of Unstable, and it's going to be respawning here any second now.
That's a good point, yeah.
The question is, do NBK walk up to EFG and go for it? Are they pushing in for Phoenix? I mean, they're deep in the enemy jungle if their call is EFG. But it looks like because Vote's dealing with fire minions, they might just go in for the bird.
Okay, so they're going to go for middle Phoenix at least here. I feel like the FG might have been the better call. Yeah, let's listen to NBKs, though, and see how they're going to do this.
Robin's in front of me.
I'm just going to chill for
I can dash Robin. You want me to dash Robin now?
Do it.
Yeah. Robin popped 3K. I'm on Robin right now. Robin 2, Robin 2.
I'm helping you mid. Oh, he... We get out. I'm gonna help you, bro.
I'm dead.
No, you're fine. Keep running.
Robin's mid. Robin 2. Robin 2.
Everyone take go back and help. Go back and help.
Yeah. Kelly's chasing me now. Kelly's on Barra still, so Xembo dash. I'm trying to put Xembo in combat. Oh, fuck.
Save yourself.
Just run.
Yeah, let's keep running.
I just have this guy on me. He's just gonna stop my back.
I'm on my way to help you. Oh, if they chase you.
I'll be fine. He's just gonna stop my back on cooldown, by the way.
That's fine.
They might look for the end.
They might go to me. Are they going to... Do they look like they're going to me?
Count.
No, we have no eyes. Karen's in mid now, yeah. Probably
I don't see anyone.
Xembo in mid. Xembo ult.
3 mid.
So you're fine.
You can look at his Chiron if you want.
Chiron?
Paley ult and Rob ult on me.
Chiron no actives. Just be careful, Vote. Rob's in the jungle.
No ult on Chiron.
Robin no ult. They're looking at...
That's
That's under mid.
That's Janice ult.
Yeah, I'm good. I think I'm good.
Paley my ult. Counter blink, or counter dash.
Xembo ult down, Vote. You can actually go
up in 32.
on the Chiron maybe.
Yeah. They're gonna try and
I vote now for you, I vote. Let me go in first.
So NBK is up against it, really starting to struggle now. Second Phoenix falls in mid lane. Davey, though, with a 3-man dunk, he's big on his own, just trying to create space and does a good job. Meanwhile, back in the fight, Vote under pressure from Preds, and Gamma 2 falls back towards his Titan room. Right, and Phoenix going to fall down here, Trelly. And the NBKs back against the walls, but I don't think Unstable Vortex can end here.
No, not yet. 3 Phoenixes down. Streak Up had the ultimate as well, but it seems like 3 Phoenixes is what they're going to try and defend under their Titan, and they need help. They cannot take a fight outside of their base any longer. Your best option is to go in for a steal onto EFG or just try and defend your Titan when the time comes, but NBK, they don't seem to be cowering in fear. They're actually pushing forward. They have enough time before fire minion damage starts to add up.
You go FG, right?
They have to go in for a play. Do they pull FG? Do they look for an ambush? All of which is going to happen somewhere around this red buff, I would guess. That's where Cyclone's headed.
I'm just keeping on that left-hand side in case anyone decides to try and teleport over there and cause problems for Vote and the boys, but it doesn't seem to be the case. Pyro will go to NBKs. And do they go for an FG? That's a real question for me, because eventually you're going to get minions everywhere. They're looking at Aurora potentially here. Aurora still aggressive on the front side. Space and time in the back, fired out by Hurrywin, looking for a pick, didn't find it. Davey to the sky, though, going to give some vision to his team. But who's he going to go on? It's going to be towards Preds once again, and Preds are going to be fine for the time being.
Phoenix goes down, still trying to fight his NBKs. They are on a timer here. Minions will eventually end the game, but beautiful damage onto Preds, and he's gone.
Preds is gone, and Davey will be happy about that. Takes to the sky now, looking to dunk down. Tell a lie, that was Streak up in disguise. The focus is on Quig, who's got no beads now. Davey trying to follow up and get the Acons, but Streak up gets the kill on Hurrywind. The carries are in trouble. Quig is dead. Gamma's dead. Oh no, going in the game. Can they even do that? Aurora's trying to TP him for an end, realizing they could have thrown this game. The supporters have made a huge mistake. Aurora, it's you versus 5.
Yep, Aurora has to back up because Barracuda was spotted, but how quickly can you take down this bird without your ADC? You would need something from Streak Up, a transformation. That fire wave is even going to be annoying to deal with. Aurora's tanky enough that he can delay this for a while, but really Barracuda being the one back in base is the one you send to clear minions?
They're being patient here. 30 plus seconds still, and Cyclone's just regenerating a little bit. He's going to zone away Aurora, create some space for Davey to take over the duties, and then the team is pushing on for this. Barry's just going to defend for his life here as they all in a row. They're all dead for 30 seconds, sorry, 15 seconds on Preds. They're going in. The NBKs with their backs against their wall. 3 Phoenixes down have come back to beat Unstable Vortex and take 2-0 over the support role.
Wow, the double rattle onto Hurrywin, the double Pridwin proc, making sure to kill the Giannis before he could portal away, I think is really what closed the door for me. Barracuda going back at the perfect time to make sure that Aurora couldn't backdoor as well. I think a lot of teams might have said, hey, it's 5v1, go, 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 we can end. But having the decency to say, hey, we've got 3 Phoenixes down. There's 2 waves of fire minions coming. Someone's got to go defend. And that sends Aurora back. His only play, try and 1v4, and that's not happening.
I was ready for a game 3 there. I think we all were. That looked very inevitable that was going to be a game 3. Shouts to Barracuda, I believe it was 0-7 that game. The biggest impact he really made, and he won't be too offended by me saying this, was defending the Titan.
He was essentially a tower. I think that helped out.
A mobile ward.
Yeah, he was killing minions, and that, you know what? Sometimes that's all you need.
From a carry role, that's for sure, but when you've got 5 carries on the same team, makes it a little bit easier. I think we're ready, though, to get it over to the desk for them to break it down in more detail for us here.
At the end of the day, it's the NBKs who end up winning 2-0 to knock out Unstable Vortex from the tournament. Now, we'll have to see how the NBKs can continue on. So at least one support roll down. So the Hunters get to move on at least one of their rolls to the next day of play. So we haven't knocked out a full roll just yet. But one of them is going to have to go in that next match. But before we get to that one, this match was a bit back and forth throughout the entirety of this game. Moments and hints of light there from Unstable Vortex on those left side Phoenix pushes, being able to find some kills. But I think the prime factor at the end, and highlighted very well there by Chulainn at the tail end, was making sure that Hurrywin goes down at the end of those fights to not continue to delay this game a little bit more. The damage that Hurry was able to output, the slipperiness of the Giannis to really keep people busy, really felt like that's what was keeping Unstable Vortex alive at the end of it.
And honestly, it's those little moments, right? Because think about it. If Hurry is up, you're getting a lot of things. Tons of damage, a very slippery god, escape for your team, and the inevitable Barra getting hit by the ultimate. It's going to happen. He's got a magnet. It's in his pocket. He should really just take it out at this point, but for some reason he doesn't. It's just good pick for Hurry. And so to limit that, to finally catch it, chase it down, that kill makes everything so much easier. And they were having so many fights that, like you said, that were back and forth. A lot of moments where it feels like they're just on the cusp of getting a win. But then Hurry hits a nasty Unstable Vortex, or he hits an absolutely wild portal to get himself, maybe his team out, and then all of it kind of fell right through the NBK's hands. But tenacity. J-Mac, that's the word I'm going to use. They hold on in the face of adversity, recognize where some of their issues have been, focus up, and have some really necessary defenses. I'm not even going to say around their base because they lost all 3 Phoenixes. They held on barely with the minions coming in, but it was enough. And that last fight, I mean, the chase down, it cannot be understated how important it was to pick up Hurry, then find everybody else. Aurora almost stalled enough, but luckily at that point the game is so long, and luckily for the NBKs at least, that the timers. Your respawn timers are 70 seconds plus, so even if Aurora buys you 40 full seconds, you have half a minute to take down a Phoenix and go for the Titan, which is plenty of time when you're that late in the game. You've got a build that's full, you've got 3k pots in the pocket, and there's just so many opportunities for you once you get to that state. And so I'm glad to see the NBKs get that one opening they needed and knock down the door, kill the Titan.
I think the transformations from Streak Up throughout the game also kind of giving that indication of how the state of the game really felt, because once we started kind of hitting the mid to mid-late game, we were seeing a little bit more of the Giannis kind of pop through. Then as we start getting to these more deep late-game team fights, we started seeing a lot more of the Ratatosker-style transformations going out. The double rat really seemed to work well for those guys. Now, you were talking about Barracuda and the Giannis magnet that he seems to be as far as ultimate.
It's in his pocket.
I don't know how.
I can see it right now.
I don't know how many he got hit by that game. Maybe he could tell us if he knows a count of how many Giannis ults end up clipping him that game, because he's standing by for our post-game interview.
Yeah, I'm joined here by Bear, and I gotta say, speaking as a fan here, the fans at home, I'm sure we were all super excited to see you out of your element. You know, like these off-roll challenges are so fun because you were playing things we never get to see you on, like the Shibalanke and the Jingwei. Was that what you were going for in this tournament?
Yeah, I think Jingwei's banned the rest of the tournament actually after that game, because that was zero fun. And then I was like, we probably need help sieging game 1, so I drafted, you know, Shiblank, really digging into the god pool, as you said. And then, you know, we made a team DM on Twitter, and they forced me into ADC. And they might regret it after game 2.
I mean, that's what I was saying. I was like, if you've seen Bear's stream, if he's like playing Assault, he's like, do not give me Hunters. I don't want Hunters. I was amazed that you ended up in ADC here. So probably not by your decision. Second question. So you guys were doing Fire Giant, and we were listening to the other team's comms at this point, and Hurry said, I'm smacking Jingwei, and just ulted you through the Gamma pushes you into the wall. Hurry hits you from the side. Did you even want a relic, or was it just too much of a shock?
Okay, so I thought the JS was like on the top side, because last time I saw him, he was below Pyro. And then he like poured up to red, I think. And I was like, I should be fine. So I'm like watching that direction the entire time. And I'm like, Kuzan push me, I'm fine. So I beats the Kuzan push. And then from my blind side, I get Janice ulted. I'm like, when did that guy even get there, bro? Like, did he just walk all the way around to shoot me? But I mean, I think if he actually hit the Fire Giant, you know, I guess Hurry's back to carries. You know, he doesn't know what he's doing. If he actually hit the Fire Giant, you know, they probably get it. But he went for me.
If it makes you feel any better, after that he said it was probably more worth if I stole it, to be honest. So he actually did second guess that. He said, Barra's not worth it. That dude's doing nothing. I should have killed him. All right, last question, and this one's legit. 3 Phoenixes down. That is not easy to come back from. Did the boys lose hope, or did you guys always believe there was some way you were going to climb back into that one?
I'll be honest, I lost hope around 30 minutes ago. I don't know if you saw my gameplay of trying to kill anyone that game. There was one fight, Duo Phoenix, me and Vogue got 1v2'd by a Kuzumbo. So that game was a lot of fun for me. I mean, actually, I don't think we lost hope as a team. Everyone was like very upbeat and very happy. Especially when we were 3 Phoenixes down. I think that was the happiest moment for us.
Me and Hindu actually delegated you just like the tower defense. You became a literal tower. You're like, I'm just going to go back and forth, clear the waves. And that's the most use that you could be to the team. And it got the dub. That's what matters. Thanks so much. Always a pleasure. We'll see what the desk can do with that interview.
You ever constant struggle of Barracuda trying to kill anything on the map?
Hey, there was at least one fight. He did like some damage.
Some damage.
Yeah.
A number of damage greater than 0.
But then, like, so there were 3 of them.
Yeah.
And he hit one guy real hard.
One.
But then the other 2 said, stop that, and killed Barra.
I don't know if it's too much as for production. Can we somehow like get the stats back up from that game, or at least can I like know how much player damage Barracuda ended up doing that game? Because like that I didn't really dial in on it just how much player damage he had done during that game to kind of pop through. So thank goodness we actually do get a look. Oh no, 23,000. How did Davey do so much damage? Dude, assassins are crazy. That's just criminal for Barracuda. I feel so bad for the guy. He did less than everybody else on the Unstable Vortex team. Yeah, he really was a tower that game, wasn't he?
If you're being fair, he almost did less than everybody at his team. Give, like, Cyclone one more ability cycle and Vote literally one more auto.
He's playing support. Vote was playing Bacchus and never really had a chance to get in the fight. This guy's got ranged autos, though. That's not Not fun.
Unfortunate. Yo, but 13 wards though. That's bravo. And you know what? It counts at least as 14 if you include himself.
He was the walking ward for his team. He did do more than Aurora. Aurora put 5 wards down. It's just the sport mentality when he no longer has to be the one who's
the
dedicated to placing.
He gets to solo lane and he's like, wait a minute.
Those are probably accidental. Those were probably just like, I accidentally bought wards because I'm so used to it and just threw those ones down. We do have a look at the bracket so you can see how the rest of this matchup and at least the rest of our week will continue to go, at least for the primary bracket of the Roll Stars. A win here for the NBKs means that they have firmly cemented their place now in the semifinals, awaiting the winner of Duo Q and the Fonzo fam to see who their opponent is going to be in the semifinals, again taking place tomorrow. And then we still have to figure out who the Soul-Lane Sluggers and Bruise Brothers, which of those two are going to make it through. But one thing we will get to find out today is which of the roles are going to be eliminated. Are the junglers going to be knocked out if Revenge Tour finds a loss? Or is Awesome Team 408 going to drop down and the supports be the first ones entirely out of the tournament? I didn't think that on day one we were already going to be knocking out an entire role. But in just one more set, Gormizer, 1 roll out of 5 will be completely out. The next time that we will see those roles will be whenever they have to face against each other so they can see who's the best of the losers. The best of the worst?
Best of the
worst against other roles?
Yes.
But it's still against each other.
The best of their own role that is independent of how they do in this other bracket.
The best of their roles.
Yeah.
But their role was also the first one out, so it means that they're the worst role.
Yeah.
So
the best of the worst.
Yeah, we get to see the best of the worst is. Yeah, I think we got there eventually.
Sure.
But that's all not even happening until Saturday when we do the roll versus roll. We still have the final set today. We got 4 sets going to tomorrow. And as mentioned, 4 sets on Saturday and then the 2 on Sunday for the roll versus roll in those grand finals. That'll be a best of 5. Still best 3s for the remainder of today. And we still have 1 more set to go, so make sure that you stick around. We've got our final set today coming up right after this break.